Gosh darn it. Microphone. Work. Okay. See how sound. Hello? Here. Adjust it a little bit. Maybe adjust it in my own ears. Eh. Ah. Okay. Think we're good? Think we're good. Testing. Test 1, 2, 3. Seems fine. You sound great. Hey! Oh, oopsies. Sorry. Accidentally pressed the button. Darn it. That's the shield mode. I have a panic button set on my Stream Deck. So in the event something terrifying happens, I can press it and then things are locked down. And I accidentally pressed the thing. Whoops. Sorry, I'm still getting used to this. Anyway, so, hi. Welcome back to BitB Stream. I've missed you guys. A heck of a lot, man. Well, I've been gone for like a week and a half. Good God. And a lot of stuff has happened in that time. Dear God. Had a mini heart attack. Sorry! We didn't suddenly get locked down. The FBI isn't coming in and raiding just yet. Okay, I do want to start the stream by making a little bit of an apology. I know that we had quite a few people that were really excited to be seeing me play Undertale Yellow. Still happening, by the way. That's happening tomorrow. But I have swapped around the days because, you know what? Today, I felt like I just needed a good, like, sit down and chill stream. It was kind of one of those, like, I've been gone for quite a long period of time, and, like, I knew that I wanted to catch you guys up on a few things before we started playing. And then, like, the more I went through them in my head, the more I was like, you know what? No, I got a lot of crap to talk about. Wait a minute. No. So, yeah. So we decided, I have just decided to go ahead and make the swap. Why the heck not? It's my show. I can do whatever the heck I want. You know, like, even though it's ill-advised. Anyway, so, yeah, we are going to just be doing a casual stream of me just sort of hanging out and doing that kind of thing. Sun God is here. Midterm has been kicking my butt. Dang. Maggie Knight 200 is also here. Hello, and hello, Ouija. Wait. Good God. Throat's a little bit sore. Sorry about that. I don't know if I'm, like, coming down with a bug or whatever the heck, but, haven't played Undertale Yellow, and I don't want to watch any recordings or playthroughs till I do. Yeah, play. It's free. This is your final warning. Undertale Yellow is free, and you have the ability to play it anytime. Go play it. Like, if there's one thing I know about Undertale, at least like the original Undertale, it's that it is at its best when it is played fresh with a fresh experience. Okay? So, where? Let me go and look up the, here, it should be, I think it's on a Game Jolt page. Yeah, Game Jolt. Here we go. I will go ahead and post this over in both of the chats, just so that you guys have ability. Don't worry, Steam is not required for this at all. Yeah, so, Game Jolt, Undertale Yellow, play. At least up to a certain point. Okay? Like, now, I'm sure there's probably a couple of... You know, it's really weird to think that there's probably some people in this chat that never experienced Undertale or, like, the crazy wave that Undertale did. Which, by the way, if you haven't played Undertale, play Undertale. For the love of all that is holy. Especially, like, if you haven't played Undertale and you're moving into Undertale Yellow, I wonder whether or not this is going to be a weird spoiler for Undertale-related things. Who knows? I haven't personally played it, so I am not really a good judge on that. Here, let me go ahead and... the Industrial Revolution happened. We don't need Steam anymore. I experienced it last year for the first time. Not spoiler-free, sadly, but I still enjoyed. Hey, that's very nice. Also play Mother 3, please, says Pierce. Yes. Indeed. Anyway, yeah, just play Undertale. I'm not going to tell you why. I'm not going to tell you what's in it. Just play it. Like, Undertale is kind of at its best when you play it completely blind with absolutely nobody, like, giving you any hints or telling you what's in it or telling you what to do. It very much is just, like, do whatever comes naturally for you. and then like, you know, follow the flow or wherever it takes you. Because to try and explain it would completely ruin the surprises. So yeah. Do you watch anime? Not really. I'm not massively into anime personally. The last time that I like seriously watched anime was like, oh, when I was younger. So it would have been stuff that was coming out on like, you know, cable television back in the day. So DBZ, Pokemon, Digimon. I think I watched a couple of other anime related things on stuff like, you know, Fox Kids and whatever the heck, and also 4Kids. But yeah, I'm not massively into anime personally, especially like not in my current days. Sonic X. You know, I never watched it. Funny enough. Sonic X was fun. I've heard that's pretty fun. This is probably my first time attending to stream early so far. Hey, well, very nice. Anyway, so yeah, I'm sure that Undertale Yellow will probably be very similar. At least like from a, you know, secrets things, or like, ooh, there's some things that like is only interesting on, you know, if you actually play the game yourself. You know, I don't know. Toby Fox is really good with that. He was good. He was really good with like telling really good like contextual jokes that are only really funny in the context of like where you are in the game and what you're doing in the game. And funny enough, like the jokes don't really scan, or they don't really work unless they happen to you. I guess this is the best way to describe it. I don't want to go too in-depth with things if you have not played Undertale. Just do it. Just play Undertale. If you watch it, watch the Japanese dub. Interesting. All right. So, anyway, so let's talk about just like where I have been and what I have been doing. First of all, I want to give a big fat thank-kun to Raccoon, because I was just recently on his stream and we did a live voice acting thing, like basically VTubers coming in and doing voice acting for a script that he decided to bring in, and it was Grossology. And it was incredibly fun, and I got to hang out with a bunch of very talented people, as well as also, like, I got to hang out with, like, you know, a handful of folks that, like, I've either known for a really long time or have just learned about them, and they're, like, really interesting people. Like, it was kind of cool. It was weird, like, it's kind of one of those, like, you have heard somebody's work for an extendedly long period of time. I'm specifically talking about Takahata 101, by the way. Like, I've seen a lot of Takahata's work over the years in a number of different things. And it's interesting to be in a voice call with him. Just like, what the heck? What is my life? This is strange. But, I mean, it's chill. I try to remind myself that, like, we're all people at the end of the day. Like, no matter what accolades you got, and no matter, like, how popular you are with people, or how popular people perceive you, we're just people. And trying to remember that. It really humbles you. Like, really brings you down to earth and takes a lot of the edge off. Here, let me center myself a little bit. Hello. I watched the stream, and you did really good. Thank you, Sun God. I appreciate it. One day I will try voice acting out. Oh, I'd say give it a shot. Like, practice makes perfect. For sure. But that was extremely fun, and it was an amazing opportunity. So, again, thank you very much, Raccoon, for giving me that that opportunity. And I'm looking forward to seeing some of the future ones that are going to be coming up. Hello, Evbay has just resubscribed. They've been here for 14 months. Freaking cool. Man, I feel like it was like a little bit more than that, but maybe I'm just crazy. I do remember that apparently there something about like Twitch ended up dropping a bunch of people's subscriptions for some reason, like some time ago. Like that, apparently they really shit the bed. And so a lot of people that had streaks going with their favorite streamers suddenly lost them. That wouldn't be the case with Evbay. I don't know. I got too many people following me. I get unnaturally embarrassed whenever I try to voice act. Well, you know what helps with that? Exposure therapy. I'm not forcing you to do anything. But I mean, hey, the more you do it, the more confident you get with it. And also, keep in mind, if you're embarrassed by like, oh man, do I sound good? Do I sound bad? You know what? Remember that at the end of the day, like, what you do right now, you're probably going to be proud of, but like, not much you're going to be able to do about like looking back in 5 years' time and, you know, looking at it and being like, oh, ew, I wasn't that great. It happens. You know, it happens in every profession with everybody. So, you know, just kind of go with the flow and like do the best that you can right now with what you've got. Yeah. Me with my art. You're right. Oh man, I'm trying to think of like what the last thing. What was the last time that I had something very similar like that happen? I know that I have a folder. Like I know there's probably a hard drive sitting around somewhere in a drawer somewhere, and it's like it's basically a crypt, a no man's land of all the things and all the files that I've just put away and I'm ignoring. I'm not deleting them because I know that if you delete them, you are going to regret it. But like, I don't know. It's kind of one of those like, oh, hey, I just realized I didn't send out the notification that I was streaming. I'm going to quickly type that up here. Decided to swap today and tomorrow's plans, so we're casual streaming today and Undertale in tomorrow. Hop on out. Okay. Oh, and then I need to like type out the, oh man, okay, so Twitch link, that is, I have the Twitch link like memorized by heart. I've typed it out way too many times. And then for the YouTube one, what's really stupid is that with YouTube, it's an individual link every single time that you do a stream. So like, I have to copy and paste it. It is so stupid. It's dumb. There we go. Gonna eat some art in the art channel since I finished it this morning. Woo, do so. Post the art. There we go. Honestly, do the same in like public Discord servers where I get like shy even to type something in. Oh man, it takes me so much effort to try and like break my social anxiety when it comes to big Discord servers. No one's judging. Or if they are judging, they're very small and like, you know, not massive, you know, not big deal. Okay. There we go. And I suppose I should probably also inform the rest of the internet as well. So let me go and do that. Art sent. Nice. Okay. Oh, man. Now I'm going to other websites, so now I have to actually think about, like, hashtags and things. Darn it. Okay. Okay. Peace and tranquility. Okay, looks like it's already auto-embedded Twitch. Very nice. Also, hand. Stop hanging out on my face. Intense clicking. I need to get a quieter keyboard. Desperately need a quieter keyboard. One of those Thok keyboards. Yeah. Embed misconfigured. Fuck you going on about? I'm calling bullshit. Developer, please check your browser or console. I did the thing. It should work. You know what? Nuts to you. I'm gonna go ahead and just send it. People know where I'm at. We're too late. We're too deep in the sauce at this point. I like the clicking noises from mechanical keyboards. Not massively. I would like something a little bit quieter, personally. Especially since I do a lot of, like, random script writing every now and then. My brain likes... Yeah, right. Lets me know that I'm actually clicking the keys. Well, I mean, clicky keyboards are definitely a thing. I guess for me, like, I like mechanical keyboards that have a little bit more of, like, a softer, like, touchdown, you know? Like... Yeah. Anyway. So back to what I was talking about. The whole, did that collab with Raccoon. However, I went the extra mile for Raccoon, and I actually set up my stream setup inside of the sound booth that I have. And by sound booth, I mean closet. I'm professional. Anyway, yeah, I pretty much, like, I took the actual stream PC and, like, dragged the table that had it onto, like, over to the closet area and then, like, snaked the cables through. And, like, basically that's how I managed to make that work. Because here's the thing. I wanted to be able to, like, show off the full animated bit avatar while also simultaneously having a good mic in a good sound setup. Technically, the sound setup in here, right here, is okay, but it's not great. It's not the best. Especially if I want to record raw audio. So, like, if you listen close enough, I think the Wave XLR actually does a really good job of cutting out a bunch of, like, background echoey noises and stuff. But there is a little bit of echo in this room. Just a little bit. And that was not something that I was really interested in dealing with if I was going to be doing a lot of shouting and a lot of scream, which, you know, I did. So yeah. I decided to move into the closet for that recording. And after that, after the stream was all said and done, I ended up having to cancel the following stream because I decided that I needed to just reconfigure the entire thing. Like, I needed to put the computer back, but since I don't usually have a great opportunity to have, like, pretty much everything as discombobulated as it was, I decided to just go the full, like, 9 yards. And I went and I decided to swap around a bunch of the things inside of this computer room. So, big change now. The stream PC is over there. And the game PC is over there. Oh, weird. What a world. But that actually did take a lot of work. I took the PCs out. I actually took them and, like, blew them out with, like, one of those dust canister thingies. Like, I took them outside and, like, actively sprayed them out and got all of the dust that was just sort of sitting in there and getting caked into it. Nice, clean PCs. Then I pulled apart all the cable mess. Let me tell you, behind this computer setup is Spaghetti Central. There are so many freaking cables. It takes a lot to get this particular setup working the way that it should. So anyway, yeah, I pulled all that apart and then I put it all back together. While also simultaneously tearing out a bunch of the cables that I did not need anymore. Because there were a couple of, like, you know, not unnecessary, not really important cables that were just sitting there that weren't really connected to anything. But it's really difficult to actually tell when a cable's not being used when it's sitting there. It's just like, well, you can't see the power actively flowing through it. You can't see the signal going through it. So, yeah, I've cleaned that up significantly and also did some better cable management. Okay, I'm not going to say better. I will say I've done cable management that I think, like, you know, won't make your head explode as quickly. So yeah, That has been taken care of, which is really nice. And so then that was completed. And I was planning on diving back into streaming the following Saturday, and I was really excited about it. Then I had internet troubles, where for some reason I was having these really strange little dropouts. I don't think I have the file for that sitting around anywhere. I think I posted it in like an update in the news section at one point. No idea if it's still there. Probably not. And if it is still... Oh, wait, there it is. Found it. Hush my mouth. There we go. Anyway, let's go ahead and pull this up just for a visual aid. Hey, look at that tiny little graph. Look at this graph. Anyway, sorry, I'm kind of covering up YouTube here. Also, hello, Karen. All right. So yeah, my internet was not doing great. So if you'll notice, the down look, every once in a while you'll notice that like there are these really weird points where like the internet would freeze for about a period of about a second, and then it would cut out, and then it would like restart climbing. You can kind of see that in the graph just a little bit, especially on the download. On the download, it's like really obvious when the cutouts are happening. It kept on doing that, and that was really obnoxious. I was just like, why? Why is it happening? Why doing thing? Why? And so I ended up getting in contact with my my ISP to come out and check that out. And they ended up fixing it. And technically I could have streamed on that week, but I made the decision not to just because I didn't really trust it completely. And we had weird internet troubles for like the following couple of days. So I was like, you know what? Better safe than sorry. Let's just watch things and make sure everything is okay. And it seems like my internet speed has climbed back up to where it was, and everything seems to be running as it is supposed to. So thank the Lord for that one. However, that did mean that I ended up having to skip out on the next couple of stream days, which really sucked. Then I was planning on diving back into doing more streaming on Wednesday. Obviously, that didn't happen. But that didn't happen for a very good reason, and that is because I was going and getting my vertigo treated. Hey, hello! I'm sure that a lot of you that are in the chat are probably like, you've probably heard that, yeah, I've got some weird issues with vertigo. And yeah, I went and saw a specialist, and I had a procedure done that actually helps it out substantially. Basically, it cures it more or less, though if you've had vertigo once, you can very easily relapse into it again, which sucks. I guess I'm going to keep that in mind. Like, ew, oh no. Now, for those people who don't know, there's probably some people in the chat that, like, are just hearing about this and being like, vertigo, what the heck is that? And some people are like, isn't that one thing when, like, you're afraid of heights and you look down, you get dizzy? That's technically one type of vertigo, but I'm talking, like, chronic vertigo. And also, there's a couple different versions of, like, chronic vertigo. So many different ones. It's really dumb. No idea what that is. Well, let me tell you. Now, do you know seasickness? You've probably heard of that before, where somebody who is on a boat, like, they can't deal with the rocking and the moving of the boat, and, like, it really messes with them, and they need to upchuck several times over. You probably heard of something like that. Vertigo, at least, pretty much in all chronic cases. Basically, imagine that you basically have seasickness, except wherever you go. And it sucks. Now, there's a couple different variants of it, but I know enough about my personal variant to give a good explanation on why it happens. That's horrible. Here's a description on how it happens, at least like in my case. What is it called? I think it's specifically called positional vertigo, is what I have. what it is so you've got like um so you've got ears, right? What a start. But yeah, you've got 2 ears, and inside your ears, each one of them, there is like this little gyroscope kind of thing, like a gyroscope on each side of your head, and they are made of like 3 different loops each, and all of these loops try and help to keep you gyroscopically like stable. And it basically tells you where you are in 3D space, and it sends a lot of information to your brain and to your body of like what position you are, so you know where, like, you know up is there, down is there. Well, inside of that organ, there is this little chamber that is filled with these tiny little crystals. Imagine like it's kind of like fine grains of sand almost. Well, maybe a little bit more coarser than that. Like, maybe like, oh, no, it's definitely like really thin grains of sand. Tiny little grains of sand. Now, normally, these little grains of salt, maybe a little bit finer than salt, kind of. Now, these little grains of sand, or these crystals, are supposed to stay kind of within that chamber. However, for people that have positional vertigo, sometimes those little crystals can fall out of place in your ear, and then they can fall into those little tubes that I was talking about. You know, the tubes, like the 3 tubes that make up like basically your X, Y, and Z. And when that happens, it kind of like, I think that there's like little feeler hairs that are inside of there, or like maybe I'm trying to remember exactly what it is. I think it's like those tubes are filled with this weird jelly, gelatinous type substance that like flows freely inside of your ear whenever you like tilt your head. Now, imagine, again, you've got that tiny little pebble thing that has slipped into that little crevice in the ear. Suddenly, the flow inside your ear is not going how it's supposed to. Like, it's supposed to be kind of free-flowing and, open and available. So when something blocks it, it sends really confusing signals to the brain. And also, keep in mind, it's only happening to one ear. So, like, that ear is getting some weird signal that, oh, hey, you're, like, this, person A, or, like, the person has stopped moving. While the other ear is telling it that, like, oh, hey, person is moving really fast that way. What that ends up doing with your head is that it sends, like, weird signals to the brain and tells you, oh, okay, so you're stable here, but you're not stable here. So you're probably in some weird spinny free fall. Okay, well, body, you better compensate for it. So eyeballs, go nuts. Or in general, it might just make you feel like really ill or really queasy or something like that. And in my case, and in fact, in a lot of people's cases with vertigo, it makes the room spin. Where like your eyeballs are trying to compensate for the movement that your head is doing. Let me tell you, there are so many things that are automatic inside the human body that we just kind of take full advantage of. Like, it's ridiculous. We don't think about the fact that we're breathing all the time. Unless I just tell that to you. And now you're breathing manually. Enjoy. But anyway, yeah, no, like, blinking is pretty manual. There's a lot of manual. Well, no, not manual. A lot of it's automatic. So many automatic things with the body. And your gyroscopic sensors, that's all automatic. You don't think about that ever. The brain takes care of it. Appreciate that. Appreciate the fact that it just works without a hitch. Because when it breaks, it gets a little bit chaotic. And now you're breathing manually. Blinking is manual. Now I'm doing both. How dare... Anyway, so... Yeah, essentially... The weird eye spinny thing is basically your body's automatic response to your ears being out of whack. where it's just like, uh-oh, I think we're spinning this way. Eyeballs start spinning. And so what's weird is that, like, you know, somebody who has vertigo, if you're watching them while they're having a weird spinning episode, you can see, like, their eyeballs actively spinning around in their head. Like, it's crazy stuff, man. I have not personally seen it, but I know I've seen many doctors, and I have had it experienced. I've experienced it myself. I don't need to see somebody. I get an idea of what it would look like. I had a really bad case of dizziness one time, where even if I was lying down, the room was spinning and it felt horrible. Ooh, yeah, that sucks. I wonder what would have caused that. Room spinning, though, that definitely sounds like vertigo. But yeah, really, like, what really sucks is that the vertigo is being triggered by, like, you know, I would lie down on my side, and, like, specifically my right side, and then all of a sudden, the whole room would just start turning this way, and I'm just like, ugh. Mapley's here. Hello. Welcome. Welcome to the impromptu casual stream that's taking up Undertale Yellow. I'm kidding. Undertale Yellow will happen tomorrow. And by the way, that just a little bit of a heads up on that. Has it ever happened on stream? Thankfully, no. I mean, on stream, my head is basically, like, vertical for the entire time. So you don't necessarily need to worry about that. I only have to worry about it if I'm, like, you know, really leaning to the side. It's not, like, you know, too bad of a thing. However, I will say, vertigo does kind of make it so that, you know, my head more or less always kind of felt like it was a little bit foggy. Like, even if your head isn't spinning, you still feel like some symptoms, like imagine basically dizziness and floatiness. It kind of feels like your head is like in a fishbowl. Is the best way to describe it. Like, it feels like your head is lagging behind where your body is. You know, something like that. And it really sucks. Like, it has really kicked my ass for the past, like, well, first of all, I've been experiencing stuff similar to this for, I think, the past 6 years. And I want to say, I think 6 years ago, I chalked it up to just, I think I'm just, you know, I got a bad sinus infection, or I got an earache or something. It's fine. I didn't really think it was vertigo. But then, 2 years ago, I had my first episodes of going, like, spin. And I was like, oh, something's wrong. Something's very wrong with me. Oh, no. Just saying hello before going into VR for a bit. Hope you are feeling better, though. Sorry that your vertigo is being blargy. Maple, no. Okay, are you still here? It's not. The vertigo is not making me blargy. Maple, where are you? I hope you're still here. I went on a little bit of a rant there. Hello? Damn you, Twitch lag. Hi, Maple. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I was actually talking about that. I was about to go into it. So anyway, that's kind of a description of what vertigo is. Sucks. However, thankfully, for my version of vertigo, there is a solution. And it's actually one of the easier versions of vertigo to deal with. Now, I ended up... this stretched out for a long time because, one, took me a while to finally go and talk to the doctors, because I'm like, I've dealt with this before, I can stomach it. That's fine. But two, we live in a really stupid medical society where it takes forever to finally see a doctor, and also you need a referral for frickin' everything. So, took me a while, but I finally managed to see an ear, nose, and throat doctor recently, and got a proper diagnosis for it. Before, it was all anecdotal, and I had only, like, just sort of vaguely talked about it with doctors. Never got it actually diagnosed. Finally actually have it diagnosed. Know which ear it is. It's that one. Actually, for you guys, I'm pointing to my left ear. For me, I'm pointing to my right ear. I do this stream mirrored. Anyway. Anyway, so, yeah. I got that properly diagnosed, and then I went to physical therapy, because there's physical therapists that can help you out with this one. And I saw a physical therapist, and she taught me how to do this thing called the Epley maneuver. Now, this is something that, like, you don't want to do this unless you get some proper diagnosis, and you need to make sure that, like, you clear it with a doctor first. Like, you need to make sure that you know which ear is which. You need to know what direction you need to face. Like, don't just do this. This is not a smart thing to do unless you know what you're doing. So just a heads up. But the Epley maneuver is basically a way of... you remember what I was talking about earlier with those tiny little grains of sand that can, like, sneak into the tubes inside of your ear that block it? Well, this is basically a method of taking those grains of sand and, like, making them move through the tube and looping back around into the receptacle that it's supposed to be in. Now, that's all well and good, but the problem is, Akumu even says it sounds uncomfortable. It requires you getting into 4 different positions, like 4 different head positions. All of them, more or less, designed to trigger your vertigo. Badly. I'll give you a little bit of a description of what it is. I'm not going to actually do it because I don't want to fuck up my head. But you take your chin and you tuck it into, like, the side of your shoulder. Like, whichever shoulder is on the side that is affected. So for me, it would be my right shoulder. And then you tilt yourself backwards. While also keeping your chin, like, tucked. And then you hang your head over the edge of wherever it is that you're lying down. So in this case, you'd probably be lying on a bed or something. So imagine this. Chin is tucked, head is bent backwards over the bed. And then you stay there and you just let the vertigo spin. You just sit there and let the room just go in a circle. I'm zoning out. There are 2 conversations going on. Oh, yeah. That'll happen. So anyway, yeah, you just let the room spin, and you wait until the room stops spinning. Oh, decided to break out the art tablet during the stream. Oh, Pastel, I just recently made a change to the stream. Well, okay, not recently. But I made a change to the stream. I wanted to try and protect the stream from, like, nasty links and whatnot, because there were actually some phishing links that were going through Twitch at one point. So give me a second. I got to go over to my, where's my moderator page? I am bad moderator. Give me a minute. Okay, there we go. Here we go. Okay, you're cleared for links now. Yeah, protection. So yeah, try and send it now. You should be good. Anyway, so yeah, that's just the first one. Then, after you're done doing that, I believe you then turn your head to, like, the opposite side. So for me, the opposite would be my left, but also keeping my chin, like, tucked, so to speak, but also hanging my head over the side of the whatever you're lying on again. And then you hold your head there for as long as the room spins, and then you tilt your head so that you're facing, like, down, and you're looking down, and your head's hanging off of the bed downwards. And then after that, like, you lift yourself back up and you get to, like, a stationary position. And then you do that 5 up to 5 times, or as long as symptoms persist. So yeah, that's the Epley maneuver. It sucks. Now I'm gonna look at what Pastel posted. I love it. Oh, thank you, Pastel. That's amazing. You do good art. It's so freaking adorable. You are now manually breathing. There is no God. I love it. Oh, the other day I was actually drawing the bit for like a project that I'm currently doing, which by the way, I intentionally decided to draw a bit in like kind of crappy, scratchy pencil art. Like I intentionally wanted to make it look as like kind of crappier, like as crappy as I could. Man, I should find that. Now that I think about it. Also, Mapley has posted a thing. I still love that picture. Buy my balls! My balls! Did I post it in the art channel? Let me check. I think so. I'm gonna go look for it. All of you are so talented! All you do great art. Especially, like, you know, there are some people in my community that have been posting their art, like, for a really long time. And, like, I've actively seen the improvements that you guys have made over the years that you've been doing art. And I gotta say, like, it makes me feel so happy and proud. Just like, ah! Anyway, here's my garbage. my intentional garbage, I should say. Like, drawing outside the lines and all. I was intentionally going for, like, you know, goofy stick drawing kind of thing. It's like, Duck walked up to a lemonade stand, and he said to the man running the stand, said, hey, bum, 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 got any grapes? It's great. Praise the sun! Right. He's also facing the opposite direction, so yeah. Okay. So anyway, let me go ahead. So I have described what the Epley maneuver is. So yeah, you are now informed of what that thing looks. Looks silly in a good way. Thank you. Anyway, I had that maneuver done on me on Wednesday. And silly me, I thought that I was going to be like, oh, yeah, Mapley posted the bit, like, hanging from his scarf picture. So scared. Chatty Frog is here. I am late, Nog! Now he's cool. Hello. By the way, heads up for anybody who is just recently joining in here. I know I said that I'm going to be doing Undertale. I apologize. I have actually decided to move that day to tomorrow because it's been a while since I've done a live stream, and I wanted to jump in here and just have a good, like, casual stream, a nice, like, casual chat with the chat. So yeah, you haven't missed any Undertale Yellow if you're worried about that. I'll be doing that tomorrow. How far are you in Undertale Yellow? I have not even started. So yeah, you can watch the complete blind run starting tomorrow. Also, if you have not played Undertale Yellow yet, now is your final last chance. Play it before I do. It's free. You can go and grab it now. Okay, go and do the thing. Speaking of which, where is that link? I had it up at one point. Where is that at? There it is. I'm going to post it in the chat again. Now, first of all, if you've not played Undertale, you should play Undertale. But if you have not played Undertale Yellow, you should play Undertale Yellow. And again, this experience is kind of at its best when you have a fresh experience that you can call your own. Okay? Like, most of the magic of Undertale is that. You know, going in completely blind. I've yet to beat it, but I've already seen a whole bunch about it. Okay? I've seen close to nothing about it, aside from, like, you know, a handful of screenshots and some specific characters. That's it. And even then, I know very little about it. I've really just kind of turned a blind eye to it. And I was like, nope, not looking. You go over there. So, yeah. But, yeah, it should be fun. Anyway. Yeah, okay, back to what I was talking about. So, yeah, I had the Epley maneuver done. Oh, need a new art book so that I can draw more doodles. Doodles are fun. Alright, I did the Epley maneuver, and I did have a total of 5 times that I ended up doing it. Not today, spoilers. Me with 3 sketchbooks. I mean, hey. That's good, that's good stuff to keep around, just to see what you've drawn. Maybe you can call back on it if you've got, get any really cool ideas for things. So yes, Epley maneuver. I did the Epley maneuver, and after I had that done in the office, I mean, first of all, as soon as I actually had the maneuver done, I actively noticed that I was feeling like, okay, I wasn't feeling significantly better, but I did notice that, like, things that would normally make me, like, spin and, have the whole room go crazy, they were not doing anything. They weren't doing those things. And I was just like, oh my god. Oh, that's different. That's cool. That's amazing. So I'm just like, sweet. However, after I was done, I mean, first of all, I was just feeling really uncomfortable and queasy after the procedure was done. Because again, your head has been put into many different positions and made you feel very sick while doing it. So I wasn't like a happy camper. I was like really uncomfortable after that. Very like stomach heavy. And then I ended up like, going out to reception, and I signed up for another appointment a little bit later. All right, Maple Leaf is saying May the 4th. Hey, May the 4th for all of you. Oh, but that reminds me. So I don't know how they got my number or how they managed to find me, but there is some kind of a, nerd catalog type of store that exists out there. Basically, they do models and things. And they're trying to celebrate May the 4th, except they started celebrating May the 4th on May the 1st. That makes me irrationally angry. Just like, you couldn't get that right. I mean, you could have advertised that the sale is happening on May 4th. You can do that. Why the heck do you think we're starting to celebrate May the 4th? Starting now. It's like, no. May the 4th is one day. Stop it. They were too excited. No, I mean, I would say their wallet was too excited. Maybe not them specifically. Calling bullcrap on that. Right. So, yeah. Stick to my stomach. So, I had heard that this procedure, it's a little bit rough. So, I did have somebody, like, drive me to and from this appointment, which I gotta say, I'm not one that makes a lot of really great decisions. But, on this day, I made a great decision. Because I was not up for doing any kind of driving. And also, I felt like, just like, have you ever been, like, on the cusp of, okay, first of all, I'm going to say I did not throw up. So, don't worry about it. I'm not, those gory details aren't happening. But have you ever, like, been so nauseous that, like, you're using every little bit of your willpower to try and keep it down? You know what I mean? Where it's like, every single ounce of the energy that you have inside of your body, you are currently using it to, like, stay present in the moment and not vomit. Have you ever been there? Oh, and Maple says, yeah, that was me yesterday. Ouch! Sorry to hear. Dear God. Yeah, that's basically where I was at. My stomach was not happy. I was just like, what is happening? Oh, I'm sorry to hear, Maple. Oh, God. Throwing up sucks. Like, okay, actually, I mean, it definitely sucks, but as I've gotten older, I mean, it's freaking terrifying when you're younger, because you're just like, what is happening? But as you get older, and as, like, you kind of, like, you realize, when you get older, you start to realize that, like, wait a second, when I vomit, whatever was irritating me inside of my stomach is suddenly no longer in my body, and suddenly I feel so much better afterwards. So when you get older, you're just like, you know what? If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. And I'm not saying that I like it or anything, but I will say, like, I've gotten a lot more relaxed about it. And I've kind of just like, okay, it's a fact of life. Okay, let's just go with it. Yeah, I mean, sick and puke kind of go hand in hand right there. Anyway, I have a very big fear. Oh, I'm really sorry to hear. But it's reasonable. It is a reasonable fear, because, you know, it's a part of your body that's just deciding to reject a bunch of things. That's not a thing that your body should be doing. Yeah. No, understandable. Understandable. Have a nice day. Anyway, no, the good news is that I did manage to hold it together. So I didn't end up making a mess inside of my very nice friend's car. Got home. Ooh. Got food poisoning from eating a Bohami sandwich yesterday. Got sad because it was good sandwich. Oh, man. I like the sandwich. But you were posting that one picture to me a little bit earlier. What was that, like crab rangoon or whatever the heck? What kind of, like, restaurants you going to? Holy shit. My God. That's good stuff. My dog is staring into my soul right now. Stare back. Actually, no, don't do that. You'll be staring into the abyss. And I don't know if you want to do that. Anyway. Yeah. So I sent that message via my cell phone out to a bunch of different locations. And I think a little later on I sent the notification out to YouTube as well. But yeah, on Wednesday I basically told everybody, like, yeah, no, I am not going to be able to stream today. I am sorry. And yeah, I put the stream off because I needed to lie down. And sure as hell, I went and, like, after I was done sending out messages to people letting them know the stream wasn't happening, I lied down in my bed and passed out. And I was out for like 11 or 12 hours. I was uncomfortable. My aunt had me try crab rangoon. Yeah. I don't think I've ever had it, but it looks amazing. Am I allowed to ask for art suggestions in here? It's only a small question because I'm indecisive. So do you mean like art suggestions as in, like, you know, asking for what you should draw? If that's the case, I don't have too much of a problem with it. If it got, like, you know, crazy and everybody was asking for art suggestions, then I'd have a little bit more of a problem. But that's mostly quiet, so it's fine. It's kind of one of those, like, read the room. Is fair. Oh, glad you're feeling a little bit better at least. Going up there with crab rangoon in hand for you to try. Here you go. Here crab rangoon. Here, hand tracker. Come on. This is a hand. Thank you. Crab rangoon, please. I'm a person who's awful at reading the room sometimes. Oh yeah. Yeah, I know what that's like. I know a lot of people like that. I mean, I've been like that in a lot of different cases. And I like to think I'm not. But my God, I am sometimes. Anyway. So funny you mentioned that. I've kind of hinted at this several times over the course of me doing this stream. But actually, I'm doing a lot better. Now, the first day after I was done with the procedure, I felt awful. I felt goddamn terrible. And I passed out. The following day, I ended up like, I still felt like kind of iffy and like ew. And I kind of felt like I was in a really sensitive position in a sensitive situation, but I could function. I just needed to stay like nice and straight and stiff and like not tilting my head any which way, and I would be just fine. And then the next day after that, I was actually feeling fairly decent, like pretty good. I ended up going out and doing some regular, like, routine stuff, like going out to the store and picking some stuff up. But even then, I did go to this, like, while I was looking around at the store and when I was, like, finishing up, I did notice that, like, my head was feeling a little bit fuzzy. It's sort of like the whole, like, I've overworked my head a little bit, or, like, I've overworked my eyes, or my, or the spindles in my brain. It's kind of like, that fuzziness you feel in the back of your head when you're really tired? Kind of felt like that. Like, I felt like my head or my eyes are really strained. And then today, I've been feeling freaking great. I'm feeling pretty good. Like, I feel so much better than I have over the course of the last 3 months. Like, I actually feel like my brain is in its proper place. So, what I assume is that those past 4 days or so that I have just been recovering, actually, I think it was 4 days. I don't know. For however long that I've been recovering, I'm assuming that, like, keep in mind, my head's been out of whack for about 3 months now. And I'm going to guess that my head's been out of whack for so long that my brain started to kind of compensate for it. And, like, it kind of just got used to the fact that everything was wonky. And so, it got used to, like, oh, yeah, that side's not sending signals properly. Yeah, this side's fine, but that side's sending weird stuff. But it's okay. Just ignore a bunch of the things from there. And so when, like, when I had the maneuver done on me, and when suddenly that ear was completely clear, now the signals are coming out completely clear, but, like, my head isn't used to that. So my head's just being like, wait a second, these are a lot of, like, actually good signals, but are they really good signals? Wait a second, is that okay? What's up with this guy? Brain no likey. Yeah, right? And I'm guessing that was, like, what the past 4 days have been. It's just, like, my head trying to figure out what it's like to be normal. So there. The good news is that now I know what the Epley maneuver is, and I can actually perform the Epley maneuver by myself now. I have been cleared by my, the physical therapist that I saw. Because, again, if it's happened once, it's probably going to happen again. But the good news is that when the symptoms actually, show their ugly head, I can do the Epley maneuver immediately, and I will be sick for maybe a couple days. And then afterwards, I'll be fine. And that's great. That's such an improvement. I am so happy that I don't have to worry about, I don't have to go and get a referral out to places. I don't have to, like, wait on doctors that are just seeing way too many patients. Like, what the frick? Should I draw Mario and Luigi in dresses or in pajamas? I like the idea of, like, what do they look like in pajamas? That sounds like that'd be cute. I has Crab Rangoon. Is it Snab Rangoon? It better be. It better be Snab Rangoon. Smiley. Happy. But anyway. So yeah, that was basically my break, essentially. It wasn't a very break-ish break, but it was a break. And now I'm here. Shoved him into a pastry. Probably didn't like that. Probably made all kinds of, like, terrible noises as you were doing it. No, 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 no. Snap, come on, come on. Get in the freaking pastry. You crustacean little bastard. Couldn't resist drawing... Oh, Doodle Bit. Aw. Yeah, look at Doodle Bit. I do like the circle hands with, like, you know, Doodle Bit. I do enjoy them. I mean, like, funny enough, I've been drawing circle hands for a long freaking time. Mostly because, again, hands are scary. I do like the, yeah, the face. Funny enough, there is actually... Where's that one picture of me? It's very reminiscent of that. Did you watch TADC episode 2? I did! He's so good! Man, if you guys have not seen The Amazing Digital Circus, do so. He's good. It is good stuff. I have watched it. Just for the sake of everybody else in here, no spoilers. Do not spoil anything. Because there's actually stuff that can potentially be spoiled. I love Jax. Boy, that's like... I was on Twitter earlier. There are two sides of the coin. I love Jax, or I can't stand Jax's guts. One of the two. For me, I like me a good asshole kind of villain. So, for me, Jax is just kind of a fun character. So, that's how it should be. Okay, where's that one picture? I think it's located in my stream files over on my other computer. Or not. God, where did I put... Okay, I do know... I know one folder it's probably in. And there it is. I'm going to send this off to the other PC. I love him, but I also want to throw him at a wall. I like how, like, you know, how much a complete asshole he is. You know, he's a character that you'll love to hate. And this is what makes me happy. There we go. No, pastel. There we go. Your doodle bit has just reminded me of this picture that exists that I made a while back. Very similar energy. It's amazing. It's one of my personal favorites because it really does get it gets across the my vibe, I feel. Derpy bit. I do like me a good derpy meme. I miss the olden days of the internet. The early memes. The ones that felt a lot simpler. You know, there wasn't any real point to them. I mean, look, I don't know. I'm half and half on Rage Comics. Sometimes the Rage Comics were good. So, I mean, I'll take Rage Comics over Wojax. I'll just say. There we go. Oh, yeah, right. I should probably show off that other thing that I made. Going to DM you a couple of pictures of the the greedy to you bit to show you what I mean. Okay, go for it. Send the thing. The Oh Really Owls or Can I Has Cheeseburger? Yes, right! Oh, really? Yeah, really? Fucking Christ. That is terrifying. Okay, well, the inspiration is thick with this one. Dear God. That's interesting because I don't really like. I didn't really watch any of the Raggedy Ann stuff before, but it's very interesting. I was a big fan of lolcats. I saw a lot of like Ike and Ed's cheeseburger stuff. I think I saw a lot of fail blog, which you know that's literally just laughing at other people's misfortune. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know. I was that kid. I was the one that was like, haha, look, person got hurt. Hee. I'm Johnny Knoxville. Welcome to Jackass. Yeah, I grew out of that. Here we go. I'm thankful that I grew out of that. I think we all have, you know, that kind of thing. Super Mario Brothers Z. Ooh. Thick inspiration. Yeah, right? Didn't see much of Raggedy Ann and Andy either. My partners got me into it. Nice. I'm sadly still that person unless they're my friend. Very curious question. When you... Okay. You used to do your Snatcher song vids. Was it difficult since you had to sing and keep the voice acting up? No, it wasn't that difficult. The main problem that I have with those videos nowadays, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not massively proud of those. Mainly because of the fact that I really, like, the problem with doing any sort of singing in the Snatcher filter is that I really should be manipulating the Snatcher filter so that it actually has, like, instead of being a full, complete, like, the way that, like, the Snatcher filter works is that, you know, it's my voice, and then there's a couple of other layers. One of the layers is, like, a slightly deeper layer that's, like, 3 steps lower from, like, my voice pitch. Something like that. And for the most part, if it's just Snatcher talking, that's fine. You know, nothing wrong with that. But then, if you try and make him do anything tonally, so aka when you make Snatcher sing, it doesn't sound right because, you know, you've got that counter... It's not a counter melody, it's just like... I don't know, it's really off-putting. I'm trying to remember what the term is in music. It's like when a tone is just a little bit too close to another tone, like, you know, A and B, if you like push those together, they're just little... It's like there's no melody together with them. If I were to do another Snatcher Sings type of thing, what I really would want to do is one of two things. I'd like to either bring on somebody that knows about music theory or, you know, properly doing background melody, or I need to learn a thing about music theory. One of the two. Because, like, I feel I should be manipulating that deeper tone so that it is actually doing a counter melody instead of being a direct one-to-one exact same tone of, like, the upper track. If that makes any sense. And I haven't done that with the previous Snatcher Plays thing. Oh, no, not Snatcher Plays. Snatcher Sings. I haven't done that with the previous Snatcher Sings. So, I do regret them now. Like, if I had more time and if I had more drive, I definitely would modify that so that they would sound a little bit better. You know, it's just like, not good singing lyrics, man. In my opinion. If you still listen to them, totally fine. That's awesome. I'm so happy that people like what I make. Like, that's freaking cool. But, you know, it's kind of one of those, I look back on it, and I'm not really proud of it. So, I would like to improve. Do you use, like, any voice app stuff so you can sound somewhat like Snatcher? Because if I listen closely, I can hear a light and deeper voice together. Like a filter. I mean, I used to use voice mod on the stream, which I'd still like to get some kind of another voice changer app or, you know, voice changing hardware. But, yeah, I wasn't really interested in voice mod, mostly because they were really leaning into, like, the word AI. And, I'm not really interested in AI related voice things. Like those are actively starting to become a bit of a problem. So, I'm sure that like, I don't know where they source the voices for their AI driven stuff. Hopefully it's like ethically sourced. They've said that. I kind of just have to take their word for it. But yeah, I'm not like a massive I don't know, just not a massive fan of that. It's kind of one of those, you see the tech bros start to bleed into it. And I'm starting to learn I'm not a gigantic fan of tech bros. I mean, like, there's a difference between being like a tech enthusiast and a tech bro. You know what I mean? It's like a tech enthusiast will be interested in like the in and outs of the hardware, interested in the software, figuring out how things work, coming up with new ways of innovating and coming up with cool things with it. A tech bro would really, really like you to jump on board their idea. They're just like, hey, there's this really neat idea, join Web3, join this crypto thing, join the metaverse, join this AI initiative, do. Everything is going to be generated. Or, basically a gigantic portion of the population on Twitter at the moment. Those kind of people. I like singing, but I remember telling you once before, I has bad stage fright. No, that's valid. Do you use like somewhat of a filter so you can have it somewhat closer? Are we referring to like a filter so that it sounds more like Snatcher? Like, what are we going on about? When you listen to the actual Snatcher, you hear like an echo and such. I mean, yeah, like you can't make your vocal cords make all of those other layers and sound effects. So I use some kind of a filter to like, I think I've described the Snatcher filter before, and it's changed over the years, many different variations of it. But I've got like one layer that's just my regular voice, and then I add another vocal layer underneath it that's like, I think a slightly like lower pitched. Yeah, it's like the same track except slightly lower pitched. And then the third track is, again, it's the same audio except I have added like an echo and I have made it more subtle in the background. I think that's how I set up the Snatcher filter nowadays, if my memory serves me correctly. I have many different variations. And again, I change it up every now and then whenever I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, you know what, this could be better. My chat finally works. Yippee, says Chatty. Hello. I stay away from Twitter. Do. Stay the frig away from Twitter. Don't touch it. If you need to use any kind of a social media app that's similar to Twitter, just use Blue Sky. Go to Blue Sky, please. Now, you remember what I said? Like, I don't like tech bros and I don't like people that are just like, hey, jump onto my brand new craze. That kind of thing. I tend to not like to jump onto some sort of a bandwagon for tech-related stuff unless I can really genuinely see that there is interest in whatever the project is. And I'm talking interest on like a promising aspect. Like if there are some really good figureheads, like some good brains that are behind the projects. And I can tell you, I think Blue Sky, I think that's going to be it. Just from like, so Blue Sky, I think it's actually made by the same guy who made Twitter. I think his name is Jack. He literally he sold Twitter, and then he took whatever money he had, either in his savings or all the money that he made from selling Twitter, and he basically started up his own Twitter in the form of Blue Sky. And what Blue Sky is I don't know if you've ever heard of I've heard of Blue Sky, but I have never seen it before. And also Pink is here. Hello. Blue Sky is actually based... So here's one of the very big reasons why I'm interested in Blue Sky. It is actually based on social media... a social media platform that already exists called Mastodon. Mastodon is basically the open source version of Twitter, essentially. It's like... kind of works exactly the same as Twitter. It's just like... you post posts, you leave hashtags, you friend people, you block people, it's kind of the same thing. Except, again, it's open source. And the interesting thing about Mastodon is that you can make your own branch of the Mastodon, code base. You could make your own branch of Mastodon, and then you can sync it up with other branches of Mastodon. Which is really interesting, and it's very, it's open, and it allows for a lot of people to flex and make their own social media platforms, essentially. But the negative when it came to Mastodon, in my opinion, is that Mastodon is decentralized. Again, there is no central server for Mastodon. It is literally just... that person has a Mastodon server, that person has a Mastodon server, that one has one, that one has one. There is no central hub to Mastodon. It just doesn't exist. And I don't like that because I feel like that really fragments social media, which if you're looking at the idea of growth, you're not really going to get a whole lot of growth because it's going to require a lot of people, using different instances of Mastodon. You basically need a ton of power users in order for you to make Mastodon work. And maybe it will. Maybe you can. But, I don't know. It's just not very likely. That is until Blue Sky happened. Blue Sky is built on Mastodon. It's basically a very prettied up version of Mastodon. The interface is kind of like Mastodon, except really cleaned up, and pretty much just looks exactly like Twitter. As well as they're trying to incorporate a lot of the infrastructure, that sort of works exactly like Twitter. So they have, I think about a month ago, they figured out hashtags. Hashtags just work now, which is freaking cool because I was really missing those. But they have a lot of other different functions, like feeds and other things as well. They finally implemented embeds, so you can embed things into your posts, like YouTube videos and YouTube music playlists and stuff like that. You can embed Blue Sky posts into Discord now, which is huge. You can finally share posts from Blue Sky on places like Discord or other social media. Big thing. Also, now Blue Sky originally started as an invite-only platform because they wanted to slowly bring people on so that their servers could handle it. But that no longer applies. You can literally just go to Blue Sky right now and you can make an account. And it's fine. And it works. Now, because it's very similar to Twitter, I do see a lot of mentality that is very similar to Twitter over there. And if, in my opinion, I think that people really should try and take advantage of it being a new platform and clean up their act and clean the way that they interact on their social media. Maybe don't use Blue Sky like Twitter. Make it a more fun place. My brain is happy static right now. I know what that's like. Blue Sky. Who knew Blue Sky? Who knew Blue Sky? Who knew Blue Sky? Who knew Blue Sky? Who knew Blue Sky's cousin? Who knew Blue Sky? Who knew Blue Sky? Who knew Blue Sky? SpongeBob. Spang. Oh, speaking of which, have you guys seen that Noodle video? The one where he talks about, SpongeBob and the band called Ween. Whoa. I saw that video recently. First of all, Noodle, he goes hard when it comes to all kinds of like fancy stuff, like visually. He's always just coming up with like, oh, what other crazy thing can I do with the visuals? But yeah, he is good. It talks about like, you know, the band Ween and SpongeBob and like how they're kind of attached to the hip in a lot of ways that like you never really noticed until he finally pointed that out. I'm not going to spoil anything about it. You should probably just go and watch it because it's pretty good. Anyway, right. So, boy, these streams are basically just a train of thought that gets derailed all the time. Is that one fan-made SpongeBob song about drugs or something? No, not that one. ADHD be like, brr. Diamond is here. Hello. Welcome to the stream. What you drinking? Oh, hey, good question. I am currently drinking some, okay, again, not sponsored by any random sodas that I'm currently drinking, but I'm drinking Mountain Dew Baja Point Break Punch because I haven't had it before. And, I mean, it's kind of like if you took tropical, you know, the generic tropical punch flavor and you mix in some Baja Blast. It's not bad. Now, I'll say, it's a heck of a lot better than the other soda flavor that I found while I was out. I don't want to make too much fun of it, but it's Dr. Pepper Creamy Coconut. And, yeah, it's coconut. I have had the drink, and, if you like coconut, maybe you'll like it. Maybe. But, yeah, he's coconut. Definitely tastes like coconut. Now I'm finishing up the Mountain Dew. Never had Baja Blast. You're probably healthier for it. Let's be real. We put a Baja Blast in your Baja Blast so you can Baja Blast while you blast. Yeah. All right, let me refresh my memory here and what we were talking about here, because we have said many things. Oh yeah, we were talking about Blue Sky. Anyway, so to me, with all of the announcements that have been like coming out about Twitter and all the changes that Elon desperately wants to change for the platform, I really badly want people to move. Really badly. You're making my autistic brain happy. I don't know why, but thanks. Good to know. That's very good to know. All right. Yeah, no, we need competition. Like we need like people to just stop using Twitter altogether. And that's why I am such a massive advocate of like I have stopped posting any important things on my Twitter account from this moment, like not even this moment, like for a while. Like I've stopped posting the stream notifications over there. A lot of major like, you know, YouTube videos or, you know, a lot of videos that were important. I have not posted on Twitter because I don't support it anymore. I don't. I stopped using Twitter a long time ago. You're a smart cookie. Unfortunately, I am currently using Twitter because, sadly, at the moment, it is still, like, a really solid place for you to find, like, VA work. And also, there's a lot of networking currently going on with the VA sphere that I'm still connected to. So for me, I kind of have to. Or, like, I feel that it is a necessity for myself. For anybody else, just don't. Don't bother. It is not a good place. Something that's like Tumblr, but better. Yeah, I don't know. I like the simplicity of Twitter. Or like, you know, the simplicity of the Twitter formula, I should say. You know, just like a real quick, like, 300 character message, even less than that, just like a small little message. You send it out, and then that's it. Then nothing else, not too much thought, not too much to say. Bada bing, bada boom, you're done. I'm glad I never used Twitter. Yeah, you're a lucky one, that's for sure. Toxic. It's absolutely a toxic environment, dude. Like, the amount, the ads that I have seen on there are absolutely atrocious. Like, most of the big name advertisers, they left. Like, they have kind of read the room and they've realized that no, it's not a good idea for them to be around. And in their place is some of the seediest, creepiest advertising I have ever seen. First of all, it's a ton of like, I mean, it's a lot of like get rich quick kind of stuff, especially within like tech spheres. So, they'll just be like, hey, did you hear the word about the new crypto news? It's like, no, go away. Or, just be like, get on board the Web3 market. It's like, no. I don't want that. And that's the best case scenario, by the way. There are worse ads that I will not talk about. But yeah, crap ton to like, but I only use my following tab because using anything else is just asking for trouble. And then, I mean, I've also got a ton of other things to try and like clean it up and make it a little bit more palatable. Like, for example, like on my browser, I actually have a couple of plugins. What were they called? I'm not going to say what they're called, but I have a plugin that turns off a bunch of the upsells. So like it shuts off stuff like, the stupid like X Premium or whatever the heck. Hey, get X Premium. Do you want X Premium? It gets rid of a bunch of the tabs that like you can only see if you have X Premium. And then it like, if you don't have X Premium, you click on it and it's just like, hey, you don't have X Premium. Do you want it? Like, no, I don't want it. So yeah, I have that as a browser extension. And my God, like I kind of forgot how nice Twitter used to be. And I'm just like, oh my God, it's so clean and simple, and I'm not being sold anything stupid. Holy shit. And then for my own sanity, I have also decided to install a blue blocker app. And the reason why I did that is because, in my opinion, anybody that is like purchasing a blue check mark, if you are paying for Twitter at this stage of the game, you are not doing a good thing. Like, I know it can be tempting. I know that, like, you want to make sure your posts get viewed. I know you don't want to end up being bottlenecked, and that's what is currently happening with, like, people that don't have the blue, that check mark thing. I get it, but, like, and I know there are some benefits to having X Premium. Let's be fair. There are some things that are good with X Premium, but I got a couple problems with that. Number one, a bunch of the benefits on X Premium were artificially made after the fact. Like, they actively made Twitter worse to make, like, extensions to make the experience better with the paid version, which I'm not a fan of. No other platforms do that, or at least none of the good ones do. Like, I've got a lot of flack for the current things that Discord is doing, but at the very least, Discord Nitro has never attempted to try and, like, tear away functionality of Discord just for the sake of making it exclusive over on Nitro. Nitro has always been a supplementary thing, and I can at least say that that's nice. And if they dial it back a little bit, maybe it would be even nicer, but yeah, I'm not a fan of like all the crap that, and also there's so many like pluses that it's just like, oh yeah, this is totally a plus, and it's not really a plus, it's a negative. I could go on another like ridiculous rant about the fact that like I still feel like X Premium is not worth it, but I think I'm gonna cut it off. Yeah, it is all pyramid schemes, Diamond. Absolutely. Like, what the hell, man? Making a new Tumblr blog to reset and finally migrate from Twitter. Good on you. Fan-made SpongeBob song called The Bottom 2, if you're interested. Sounds interesting. But, meh. Oh, hey, take a look at that. That looks nice. Pastel. I mean, like, you know, there is nothing more... There's no better description of the stupidity going on Twitter than the explanation that they took the verification check and made it pay to win. Like, that was the one stupid first decision that they made, and that supplanted it for the rest of the entire time. You know, just being like, that was the stupidest decision. It was never rolled back. And now it's just like, blue check marks are worthless now. Because, you know, they made it so that you can just buy one. You can't earn it. You can't, like, you know, actively attempt to try and get that on your account with actual verification. Nope. Just buy it. Spend money. Moon! Hello. How's it going, Moon? I don't really have the Discord up at the moment, mostly because I've just been, like, talking and filling the air myself, but, you know. Casually giving head pats with mouse. Ow! Stop it! That's Pokey! Speaking of spending money, happy Star Wars Day. I am not going to spend money on the Star Wars. Again, I talked about this earlier. There is, like, a weird model selling company or something that found my email and has been sending me spam, and they said that they were starting to celebrate May the 4th on May the 1st. Boy, there is nothing that keeps my wallet tightly sealed than you getting the date wrong. You moron. So burnt out from Star Wars. I'm okay with it. I'm not, like, massively excited about it or anything, but... I got my tablet pen in my mouth. No! Don't eat that. YouTube Premium is the only decent subscription service because at least it has benefits and you can spend less money for Spotify. That's possible. I'll give a little bit of, I mean, premium services are not inherently some sort of a bad thing. Like, YouTube Premium, it actually does have a lot of, functionality. Also, Novastar Artist here. Hello, how's it going? Didn't miss much. We're mostly just talking today. Although, again, another reminder, I have shifted the Undertale Yellow stream to tomorrow. So if you're planning on seeing Undertale Yellow tonight, that's happening tomorrow. I apologize. Making a little bit of a shift of things, because I felt like talking, because I haven't been on the stream for a while. Anyone know a good program for doodling? Magma Studio. Oh, I've never heard of Magma Studio. Recently, that one picture that I showed earlier of the, again, the funny, that guy. Hello. Anyway, that guy, I actually drew that in Krita, and honestly, Krita was pretty comfortable. I don't know if it's just like the layout of my tablet, but it's pretty convenient, honestly. I was scrolling through TikTok and I just found a random dude peeing on the floor. Wait, peeing on the door, and then Darth Vader opens up. Dark Vader. I questioned what the fuck I just watched. Very interesting. Critters, again, he's pretty good, man. Never used Krita. I recommend giving it a shot. Like, it's completely free, and so far they have not tried to do anything stupid. You know, unlike a couple of other art studio things that I will not talk about, that I might have spent a lot of money on. You possibly broke your arm? Oh, sorry to hear that. Was that another one of those things that, like... Because you do performances, right? Like, stage performances? Take care of yourself, man. All the doodles I've made tonight are in Magma. It's pretty decent, and you can collaborate with other users on the canvas. That's freaking cool. Currently using Ibis Paint for all of my art. Good stuff. Good stuff. What was the other thing? We were talking about Twitter a little bit earlier here. What was the other thing? Like, I feel like I was going somewhere with that. I have a PSA or just some tea. Well, before you start making any sort of PSA things, maybe send me a DM with it. Just to make sure that, like, you know, I know what it is and I know that it's like, oh, legit. Oh, friend threw herself on your back? Oh, geez, that's a good way to, like, break your spine. Be careful of that. I have a brother who, like, he now, like, permanently has back problems because his friend decided to be a silly Billy and then jumped on his back and, like, he landed wrong. And now he's not in a great position. So, yeah. Basically, he has to live off of a lot of pain medication, so... Who does that? I mean, goofy teenagers, that's who. Dude, when you're a teenager, you think, like, you think you are completely immune. You think you are, like, you know, you'll live through anything. And then, you know, the one thing happens. And then you realize, no, you can't. I was doing an art contest, and I was like, fuck Photoshop. I'm doing this on Krita. Because the school allows it. Nice. Good school. See, at my school, they probably would have been like, no, you need to stick to the specific curriculum software. Otherwise, it, you know, we cannot say for certain whether or not you are actually learning. Ooh, you won an art contest. Nice. I have a performance tomorrow of Lion King. Ooh. Hope that goes well. Yeah, your back is not meant for that shit. Nope. Ooh, okay, you sent me a DM. Let me take a look at it real quick. Ew. Yeah, go ahead and say that. Yeah, Moon, go ahead and... Oh, man. What company makes that movie, I wonder? $100, nice. Hundreds, a lot of bucks. It's not a smacks. Forced to use software for animation. I don't know, super upset about it for like 3 seconds. And then I had fun. Well. Oh, you're Nala? Nice. That's cool. I laugh in the face of danger. Ha 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 ha. Oh, Lion King was a major movie back in the, you know, that was one of my childhood favorites. So the tea is that there's an upcoming movie called If, and for some sort of promotional thing, you can create your own imaginary friend, but not really, because it's basically low-budget, cheap AI. If anything, it just makes me want to draw my own art. Like, all AI art does for me is motivate me to just draw better images. Yeah. I mean, I don't necessarily know if we need a PSA for that. I mean, for God's sakes, AI art generation is stupid. It steals from people, and also you don't even get anything good quality. I mean, look, it's okay. It's fine, but there's nothing creative about it. I guess, like, if you've got no artistic skills, and if you really can't be bothered to learn how to draw a thing, I get how AI is probably a lot more, like, approachable and appealing, but I don't know. The Mufasa movie, no. Last time I watched your stream was Halo Combat Evolved Cursed a month ago. Hey, very nice. Well, welcome in. This is just a casual stream where I'm just like talking about random stuff. Mostly because I'm trying to like, I've been gone from streaming for about like a week and a half, so I want to kind of get back in the swing of things. But writing prompts is a skill. AI sucks, right? Not even good AI art. Like, most of the time I drew my monster, it just completely messed up the expression. Like, AI about to end the whole world like Terminator for real. Like, I think for me, it's just like the way that AI art generators generate art. I know that like you can specify styles and things. I get that. And you know, as they keep on progressing, they'll get better and better and better. But like, a computer can never make anything like independent or individual, and there's no flavor and no like, you know, if I'm looking at somebody's art, I'm looking at somebody's like creative style and the, you know, their interests and, you know, what brought them up, you know, like the things that they were inspired by, that they're lifting up to the forefront, and there's more nuance to like the stuff that people are making. And maybe I'm sounding really hoity-toity by saying all that, but like, I don't know. Whenever I see an AI generated image, all I can see is just, it's a lot of like smooth colors with not a whole lot of like reasoning behind why the shading is the way that it is. And you know, the puppy has 6 fingers instead of 5, or like, you know, the puppy has human hands instead of paws, that kind of thing. Disney doing AI is not surprising. All 3 movies in the past few years were junk. No, okay, Disney movies are actually, I mean, look, I think there are a lot of really good Disney movies that I love. But unfortunately, like, Disney themselves are just absolutely, like, he's just one big money tunnel nowadays, you know? It's not like love or creativity or passion or any, like, you know, they don't want to make product. They need to make product to continue the conveyor belt, essentially. The last good one was Encanto. I haven't seen a Disney movie in a while. You'll be in my heart. How's 3D printing going, Bit? Ooh, I was going to show off some 3D printing stuff a little bit here. Snap cake. Interesting. I don't know whether or not you can share links in the YouTube chat. Unsure about that one. Oh, Pierce is asking if they can join the VC. Yeah, give me a second. I have things to say about Disney. I must destroy from inside out. Okay, hopefully I've got all the call stuff set up properly. I did do a little bit of stress testing before the stream started. So, yeah, we will see whether or not it's good. Is my mic set up properly? We have people in here. Hello.
Hello.
How you guys doing?
Doing okay. I have fun stuff to say about the Walt Disney Company.
I have stuff to say too,
Do
but you first.
So Disney kind of opened up Pandora's box in 2019, and there's no way for them to possibly put it back in the bottle. And that the reason I say that is because basically every movie they've released after 2019 has made significantly less money than Disney had been hoping.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that I'm talking about specifically is Disney Plus.
Oh, oopsie.
Oh, yeah, right.
Because here's a little thought experiment. Let's say you want to watch a new movie that just came out in theaters, like Mitchell's versus the Machines. Let's pretend that just came out. You know that the movie was made by Sony Animation, right?
Right.
So once the movie leaves theaters, where are you going to watch it?
Probably on streaming.
Which streaming service? Because there's a lot of them now. So do you know where this movie's going to go?
No clue.
Okay. So that means that if you know the movie's in theaters, you could reasonably say it's probably easier to just go watch it in a theater. That way I don't need to worry about getting a Peacock subscription or whatever.
Yeah.
Or wherever it ends up being. So you might as well just go watch it in a theater and be done with it. But if you go over to watch a Disney animated movie, what streaming service is that going to be on once it's out of theaters?
Yes.
You know
I see where
exactly
you're
which
coming
streaming service it's going to be on.
Yep. Yep.
Any
Okay, I
Disney
get
movie,
that.
any Pixar movie, any live-action Disney movie, any Star Wars thing, any Marvel thing, they're all just going to be on Disney+. So just wait for it to come there, get a free trial, watch it, and then cancel your trial, and you're done. And you don't need to watch any Disney movie in theaters anymore from now until the end of time.
Yeah.
So their box office is going to be a lot lower than they want.
Yeah. This is true.
Because everyone knows what Disney's brand is, and that's kind of screwing them over.
Right. Oh
Very much
no,
so.
we're so recognizable. Shit.
That's a problem for them. And they can't shut down Disney Plus, because,
That'd be too easy. That'd be too hard.
I
and
mean,
Yeah.
cause
technically,
too much
technically
mayhem.
speaking, if they wanted to, like, they could finally just shutter it and go, okay, fine, we give up. Here, whoever wants to buy a license to stream Disney films on your platform, go for it. Whatever, we're done. They could.
They could, but this is Disney we're talking
Follow their
about. They're never
pride
going to do that.
and
Actually, also on the subject of Disney Plus, there's something kind of hilarious about it. If you
Okay.
look at the metrics of what's actually being streamed on Disney Plus, the number one thing being streamed on there is The Simpsons. The number two thing is a show that Disney didn't even make, and
What?
it accounts
What
for
is it?
30% of it accounts for 30% of everyone using the platform. All they do is watch this one show and nothing else.
What's the show?
That's unfortunate.
The show is
What's the show?
Bluey.
Yeah, right?
What's the set? What? No, it's number 33. What's number
See,
33?
I have not seen Bluey, but
It's
I have
not Bluey,
heard some
so it doesn't
synopsises
matter.
of some of the episodes, and my god.
Yeah, Bluey is the number 2 show on all of Disney Plus, and it accounts for 30% of their entire viewership. And it's the one show that's on there that Disney didn't make.
Hey,
So
this is
Oh,
an actual.
man.
Why didn't we make this? Why didn't we make this?
This is kind of a nightmare for a company like Disney. Just the whole obsolescence from I don't know. It's kind of like the exact same fear that a lot of cable companies are currently dealing with. I remember, I forget where it was I originally heard, but a long time ago, cable companies had a lot more power over what you were watching and where you watched it, because they were the ones that dealt with the contracts. They were the ones that handled distributing out to you, and then they could nickel and dime it so that you could only get the basic package here, and then you could get the crazy complicated package that was really expensive. But then people started moving over to the internet around the time that streaming services and also stuff like YouTube and the internet was starting to get really popular. And suddenly you have all these you have all these cable companies that are just well, shit, we're about to become nothing but a bunch of stupid tubes that are sending out internet crap. What do we do about this? And now you have all of these extra, now Xfinity has got its own separate stupid streaming apps that you can use through their service, and then every single company has their own app where you can stream through their stuff. It's we're back to cable. We're back. What the hell?
yeah, it's just Cable 2.0 Electric Boogaloo. Now
We
streaming.
tried to fix this. We had a good thing. And now
Yeah.
we're back. God damn it.
Yep.
I'm not going back. Are you kidding me? I'm not spending a bunch of extra money that I don't need to.
I'm not going back.
Yeah, no.
I'm not going back.
Jaden says, I'm a going now. See ya. Have a good day. Thank you for coming out, Jaden. I appreciate it a heck of a lot.
Yes.
And thank you for the Disney talk.
Yes.
Yes.
Also, Akumu says, I'm going to
sorry.
get a croissant.
I have a lot of stuff to say about the Walt Disney Company for some reason, so I apologize for the rant.
Yes.
Oh, no, that's fine.
I'm
Your
still
rants are
here.
fun because they're informative and they're and
Funny.
they've got like fun facts behind them.
Thank you.
There's always like a punchline or there's always a kicker. Can I have a Snab YouTube profile? I see him. I see the Snab. Look at him. I see him. He's right there. That's adorable. Right. We were talking about social media at one point. What was it? Oh, yeah, right. So, again, being a massive shill for Blue Sky, but I did see recently, like, I've been following along Blue Sky's updates. Here's another reason why I have a lot of faith in Blue Sky. It's working off of open source code, meaning that anybody that wants to implement, like, excuse me, anybody that wants to implement, like, an update or a change to Blue Sky, you can submit one, and if it's good, Blue Sky will just bring it into the main branch if it's good enough. And that has ended up creating a whole bunch of really good flexibility and functions to the website. Almost like all of the really good ones have been like based around that kind of a system, and it's good. Like, there's so many really cool things that, like, the website can now do that was not capable of doing before. I thought Blue Sky died a while ago. Disney shut them down. Shut the hell up, Diamond.
Oh, they're
Different
Blue Sky.
Although, yeah, rest in peace. At
Hey,
least
if it helps,
Scrat managed to get his nut.
At least Scrap managed to get his nut, and one of the animators who worked at Blue Sky is the lead animator for the Amazing Digital Circus now.
Oh, yeah,
That's good.
nice.
Yeah, Kevin.
I did not know that. That's cool.
Yeah, his name is Kevin Temmer. He has a YouTube channel. He posts a lot of great stuff.
Kevin
Go check him
Temmer,
out.
yeah.
Go
I
check
know
him out.
Kevin Temmer.
His name's Kevin.
Yeah, I've seen Kevin Temmer's stuff. That's good. Yeah,
Kevin.
he good.
Kevin.
Yeah, seen his stuff.
Yeah. If you've ever seen that "What's the Matter, Martha" music video, he did that. That was him. He animated it. He sang it.
Or delete this tweet.
Or delete this tweet. Yeah, that was also him.
Trying to remember. Hold on a moment. I'm gonna look up Kevin Temmer real quick. There's another thing that I think he made that I love to bits.
But you're big.
Ha!
I know.
Sorry.
Stop playing. Yep, there tons of digital circus stuff on here.
Yep.
Yes, because that's what he's doing now.
It's very neat. I'm glad he's got something successful going on.
Yeah. He also was an animator
Jesus.
on Murder Drones
He
too.
made a 3D Homestar? What the Ugh.
You know, because
Homestar Runner just does not look right in 3D.
Too bad. Embrace it.
No, it's a problem.
Embrace it. Embrace it.
Oh, yeah, okay, one of my favorite things he's ever done was the I Met Weird Al song.
That song's great.
I love it so much. Because it is so Al-coded, it is insane. Speaking of which, I was talking about this earlier. I heard that UHF is getting a 4K release.
Heck yeah.
I wish I had more, I wish I had more expendable income, because I want to get the special edition so much.
Does it come with, like, a special snack?
No.
And what's the point?
God. I'm sorry. It comes with a lot of good stuff. Here, give me a second. I'm gonna go look it up. UHF 4K.
What's so good about it? In search.
Well, first of all, now I'm sure that there's probably a lot of people in the call that like have never seen Weird Al UHF.
It's a fun movie.
They might have missed out on it, especially the whole renting a movie thing. You see, back in the day, kids, you would go to this store called a Blockbuster, and in the Blockbuster, you would go to this place called where would have this whole row of things like VHS, which is another thing that people don't use most nowadays. Another thing is was saying was be kind, rewind, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Anyhow, the movie.
That was the era before the CDs took over.
It was the era when you could before times when if you wanted to rent a movie, you don't just open Netflix and click a button. You would have to
Netflix didn't exist.
Yeah, you would have to physically go to a retail store that had a limited selection of whatever the most recent movies are, and if all the copies of that movie were already checked out, you couldn't watch the movie, and you had to go back to your cave empty-handed.
Or you did the crazy thing and bought it.
Or you had to buy it.
Which was
not had to go to the
easy to come by.
And they also had late fees. If you, when you rented your movie, you had to return it within like a week or 3 days, depending on however long you rented it for.
Nope.
And if you didn't return it, then the alarm on your phone went off at 11:45 at night, and it said, "Hey, you have to return your movie in 15 minutes, or they're going to charge you money." And then you had to drive all the way back to the store and throw it into the drop-off slot, and then you'd get a call the next morning where they said they still didn't have it.
Yeah.
Because they didn't check the drop-off slot.
Yep.
Garbage. I have 2 VHS tapes, and I do not know how to use them.
Oh, first off,
first of all,
get a
VHS player.
Part one,
first of all,
early cinema.
be kind and rewind it. But second,
nobody
VHS
likes
player.
Yes.
Anyway,
hey,
no,
wait,
yeah.
Question: can I interest you in Betamax?
What was that? What's that?
A Betamax was the other format that was meant to compete with VHS before VHS came out, and VHS ultimately won because you could fit more stuff onto a VHS than you could a Betamax, and also Betamax was like 3 times as large physically as a VHS tape, but it did have slightly higher quality.
I actually watched a video from Technology Connections. Have you seen that? Do you know Technology Connections?
I don't know if I've seen that specific one, but I believe I know what you're talking about.
I watched Technology Connections video on Betamax, and actually, funny enough, Betamax tapes were actually like pretty small. That was one of the things that ended up killing them, because I think Betamax was it was like a Sony branded tape, and I forget, maybe it was like a Philips thing. I don't remember who it was that made VHS. But, like,
Philips,
there was a format war, and Sony really badly wanted Betamax to win. But they kept on shooting themselves in the foot because they just didn't want to change the form factor, and they made it really small to begin. And, like, they kept on implementing new bits of technology to, like, oh, now we've made the tape thinner, so there can be more on a spool. Or, oh, we came up with a way to run the machine slower so that you use up less tape. And they kept on coming up with these implementations. But then VHS would immediately follow up with being like, hey, we did it too. And also our tapes are bigger. And everybody went, yeah, we want that one.
And they smell nice.
Yeah, and the VHSs smell nice. So yeah, just every single time Betamax tried to succeed, they kept on being one-upped by VHS. And it's just like, well, frick. And the only thing that Betamax ever ended up being used for was, or, the only major thing that Betamax ended up being used for at the end of the day was they did have a little bit of a showing in some living rooms, but they ultimately were used for a lot of like Hollywood studio related things.
Yeah, because they did have better video and audio quality than a VHS tape.
Just for the record, Nova, I don't really consent to anything related to AI, whether it be ChatGPT or whether it be like Midjourney or whether it be like anything related to like generative AI. So no, I don't give any sort of consent to that, and I would prefer that people didn't do anything AI related to either me or anything I do. So, just heads up with that. I appreciate that you asked, but yeah, I do request that you don't.
Yeah.
I
Alright.
wasn't looking.
Back to format stuff though. Right, yeah, VHS ended up winning out, and I remember then there was a format war when it came to discs. So
Yes,
many
and
different types
so-
of discs attempted
And
to try and
Sony
become a
was
thing.
very determined to win those format wars, and they actually did pretty good, mainly because they had a secret weapon in the form of the PlayStation.
I think that is weird that you sent for Snap, because Snap is just an infernal crab. He's just a
Yeah,
demonic
he's just a crab.
There's nothing else to him. He's a
Yeah.
crab that is he is a ball of rage that is somehow contained in this tiny little crustacean.
Allow me to look this up for you.
Yeah, when it
Look
came
up
to the
what?
disc format wars, Sony basically had their pick win every time because they made it so that whatever format they wanted to win, which was usually one that they helped to develop, they just made it so that whatever new PlayStation they released, it used that format exclusively for their games. So it worked with CD-ROMs for the PS1, it worked with DVDs for the PS2, and it worked with Blu-ray for the PS3. And then they kind of just settled on Ultra Blu-ray after that point because HD DVD was dead. And everyone just kind of settled with Blu-ray being the standard because it's big enough.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you know, Sony's done a pretty good job of, you know, that he's a good strategy and it's worked for a long time. Unfortunately, we've kind of moved away from the idea of having specific formats, and now we're just moving over to having bigger, more chip-based hard drives instead. Which,
Yeah,
like,
just having
you know,
bigger SSDs.
like, that's a heck of a lot easier.
Mm-hmm. Faster loading times.
Faster loading times, right?
And
Although
now with
that does
streaming,
mean that
you
you
don't
have
even
more
need to have... Oh, sorry. you go.
Unfortunately, that does mean more invasive DRM, and also,
Yeah.
who knows if you own what you actually buy?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm of the opinion that I think we should start moving in the direction of having more physical media again.
I
Because,
agree, just for the sake of avoiding problems like the crew being delisted.
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, the Crew is unfortunately an online game, so there wasn't really much you were going to be able to do with that. I mean, there was single player stuff in that, though, right? Hello, there's a synth in here.
I come with grave news.
Oh.
What is it? What is it, synth?
Binglety bongers.
Oh, no.
That's it? Oh, come on!
No!
Oh, no.
Boo!
Not
No,
fungus!
How you guys doing?
Hey!
Good. I hear you are a little bit
Hey.
sick.
Yeah, I'm on the tail end of it, but it has been yeah, I mean, you could tell I can't even laugh. My maniacal laughs. I'm stuck with like an evil like. This is all I can do. This is all I
Yeah.
can do because everything else makes me go freaking like. Oh, sorry.
If y'all have not heard the recent audio thing that he did
Oh my
while he
God.
was
Oof.
sick, go do a
Oof.
thing. Go listen to the audio thing that he just recently did.
I need
New
to...
character thing he did.
Oh yeah.
I see.
Yeah, it's a funny thing. It's
Hi!
the spooky man. who,
Oh my god, I'm so excited. Oh my god.
I decided I was like I woke up in a cold sweat at 3 a.m. and was like character.
Yeah,
That's how you know you
Oh.
got a good idea.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was
very
just talking to I was just talking to everybody here. I'm actually
yeah.
feeling pretty freaking good. I finally managed to get the ear, nose, and throat doctor thing, and I finally went to
Nice.
physical therapy for the vertigo.
Nice. Oh shit!
And
How's
I'm
that going?
feeling good.
That's good.
Fuck yeah!
It took a while. No, do you know the Epley maneuver?
Oh, I've heard of it.
Absolutely. That sounds funky, but go ahead and tell me because I'm gonna.
I guess I'll describe this again for people who are fresh in the chat.
It's very interesting.
Yeah. The Epley maneuver is a method of trying to correct vertigo in people that have positional vertigo specifically. To describe this, your head, in your ears, there is this weird coily thing of like 3 specific rings, and they gauge basically your X, Y, and Z axis in your head, basically telling you what is up, what is down, that kind of thing. Well, inside of there is like this little sack thing that has like these little crystals that are really kind of, I don't want to say microscopic, but they're definitely fine. And there is a chance that for some people, those crystals can come loose and they can fall into the little tubes that are inside of your ear. And when that happens, it messes with your geosynchronization. And so one ear thinks that you're just standing still. The other ear thinks that you're moving in one direction. And then suddenly your head's just like, oh, I guess that means you're in free fall. Okay, make your body think you're spinning. And then suddenly your body tries to correct it by like making your eyes spin, and that's what makes like the room looks like it's spinning. And
You
that's
thought
where the
that
vertigo
you
happens.
So wait, how did you phrase it again?
How I phrase what?
So you said it was like your ear says that you were in, what was it?
One ear thinks you're standing completely still. The other one thinks that somehow like you're moving fast. And so
no. But
brain
how'd you
just
phrase it the first time?
I'm trying to remember.
Your brain
Maybe I
gets
said it wrong.
blocked and you get weird.
And you're like, whoa, this happened. Whoa, goodness
I don't know.
gracious.
I probably misspoke.
Oh,
I don't
no.
remember.
No. It's you didn't misspoke. I just thought of a really good joke with it. It said you thought it was standing in one direction, but in reality you were a Fallout Boy.
Boo!
No.
Boo! That was
Going
terrible.
down.
Go
Hey,
down,
can we
down
ban
into the
him,
pit.
please?
We can't
Should've
ban
we're
him.
going
He's
down
a voice
swinging.
actor. He's a voice actor.
It's
He's a
amazing.
voice. You can't ban
Bippy's
voice
also a voice
actors.
actor. Bippy's
Oh,
also a
that's
voice
it.
actor.
So
No, it
we'd have to
cancels
ban
out.
Bippy.
Hi.
So we'd have to.
How
Huh?
you doing?
Hey, what you doing?
So the Eppley maneuver is basically an attempt to try and move your head in a way that basically takes those tiny little fine crystals that are stuck inside of those loops and loop them back around to make them fall back into their little like receptacle in your head where they're supposed to. Yeah, essentially.
What?
Which it works, but the negative is that it requires you to do a lot of vertigo triggering head movements to make it happen.
Ew. Ew.
I
Why
think
would
there's
you
about
wanna do
3 or
that?
4 different steps in between
That's
doing it.
fun. That's nasty.
And then you do them up to about 5 times or about as many times until you like see improvement.
Hmm.
And when I went to the doctor, she had me do all 5. And
Did
like
it help
that's not-
improve?
That sounds like fun.
the good news is that even on step 3, I was actually feeling significantly better in a lot of cases because like suddenly the room spinning wasn't happening. Like I felt uncomfortable, but the room spinning wasn't happening, and I'm just like, whoa,
The rum.
well that's different. I haven't felt that in
Rum.
like long time. And also, stop making fun of me saying room.
I can't help it. I can't help it. It sounds like you're going. Rum, 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 rum,
Rough.
rum, 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 rum. You're like a car. Rum,
Anyway,
rum, rum,
You're
rum,
looking
rum,
she
for
ended
the
up,
rum.
So she ended up making me. Why is the rum gone? She ended up making me do that 5
Military-grade
times,
Roombas.
and after that, yeah, I felt very sweaty and also like sick to my stomach, but I was
Oof.
pretty much fine.
Just
So-
minus the sick to your stomach thing and everything
So
else.
I got up, left, did some reception things, and but before I did this, I did have like somebody drive me there and had it so that they would drive me back home. Which I don't make a whole lot of great decisions, But let me tell you, that is one of the best decisions I could have possibly made that day.
Oh, I thought you
'Cause-
said no.
Also, Synth has disappeared.
Again?
Oh no. Oh shoot.
Again? Well, that just means we're gonna have to make our own funny jokes. Uh-huh.
With blackjack and hookers. And you know what? Forget the funny jokes. Anyway. Right. So even like driving in the car, like the motion of like the car moving was really freaking with my head. Like ridiculously.
Yikes.
And like my stomach was absolutely on fire. I was kind of in that weird twilight period where like I felt like it's one of those moments where you're using every single ounce of your mental energy to not vomit. I was in that state. And then when I got home, I immediately went over to my phone and I sent a message out to everyone being like, yeah, I'm not going to be able to stream tonight. It's not happening. Can't do it. I thought I could, but no. I decided no. And then I passed out for like 12 hours. And then when I woke up, I was feeling like kind of iffy, like really kind of eh. And like it just felt like my head was all kinds of like off kilter that day and like really uncomfortable. But like I could function, so that was one thing. I was fine. The next day after that, I was feeling like a little bit better. I could move my head a little bit more freely and things like that. I ended up going to the store and picked up some groceries. But even then, just going out and picking up groceries and like actively moving my head and being alert, I could tell that my head was getting really like dizzy and iffy. It's kind of like I could tell like for some reason my head was working a little bit overdrive. Now we've reached today, and I'm feeling freaking great.
That's good.
That's
Like-
wonderful. That's wonderful.
So what I'm guessing is that I've been complaining about this for what, 3 months? I'm guessing that my head's just been out of whack for so long that my brain is just, it doesn't know how to handle a completely normal working set of ears. And so
Yeah.
it's needed a few days to recover and be like, oh, this is how the world works. Oh.
Hey, Brain, did you know that the floor is the floor and the sky is the sky?
The
I know,
floor is
right?
made of floor, actually. The floor is
Yes.
actually made of floor. Did you know that?
This
I didn't
wall
know
is
that
made
either.
of wall.
Did you know that this bed's made out of a bed?
Drywall.
Whose drywall tastes better, Home Depot or Lowe's?
I don't
That
know.
is a
Let's
very
go
good
check.
question. I mean, the better question is, who makes the best wall cotton candy?
Oh.
Hmm.
Universal Studios is pretty good.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah. But you know, abandoned houses are pretty good at that.
Oh, yeah, that's it. That's aged cotton candy.
I know, but you won't get sued because it's abandoned. And then the dead people will
I mean, either
mind
that or
because
there's a
they're
tenant
dead.
who will find you and be very angry.
Well, they can be angry all they want. What are they gonna do? Shoot me? Then they're gonna be on what? Like what? They're gonna go try out for murder.
The sky is made of sky. It appears this floor is made of stairs. Anyway, so yeah, sorry for giving this explanation several times, but I just wanted to, I just want people to know, like, I'm feeling pretty good, and I am so happy. Also, I mean, unfortunately, when you have vertigo, you are kind of, you're susceptible to have it again. But the good news is that the Epley maneuver can be done alone if you wanted to, or you could have somebody support you, like behind you. Like, you don't have to go to the doctor if you get diagnosed which ear it is, and if you are trained in what the Epley maneuver is. Like, after that, you can just do it. So you don't have to go to a physical therapist anymore. Like, at least I don't. But I do recommend, in the event you ever have any sort of vertigo-related symptoms, like I've described, please get that checked out. Please call somebody. You know, like, you don't know what version of Vertigo it is, and also it might not be Vertigo. Every single time that I've gone in to get tested for Vertigo, they give me a very specific site test that is specifically to check to see if you've had a stroke. Because, yeah, some of the symptoms of vertigo do kind of, like, they're kind of kitty corner to potentially, like, you know, people that have had strokes, and, you know, that comes down to blood in the brain not working properly. So, yeah, if your balance is off, give your doctor a call. Maybe go to the emergency room. I remember I did that on, like, the first time I went to, you know, I had that problem. And it sucked. Also, retrospect, I'm going to retroactively change something up that I said a long time ago. Do you remember that one story I told where I said that I had food poisoning and also vertigo at the same time?
Yeah.
You just had vertigo?
I changed my mind. I think it was just vertigo. So,
Just vertigo.
Arby's,
No food poisoning.
Arby's, you have been vindicated for now.
For now.
Unless you do give me food poisoning.
Unless you give me food poisoning, in which case then
There.
we will talk.
But now, just go on your merry way. For now.
But Dr. Pepper, you're not off the hook because you made coconut flavor. What?
It's
What
for
the
the
hell,
Donkey
man?
Kong Country cartoon. It's a tie-in. It's okay.
King K. Rool.
Yes.
I have not watched it, but I've seen enough clips.
I know.
It's a really
of it.
funny show.
Also,
It seems
Nova was
reputable.
asking my opinion on the new Digital Circus episode. Talked about it before. Freaking good. I really hope people are going and watching that because he's good stuff. Honestly,
It's so cool. It
like.
makes me want to do it.
It's
I'm
really, really
definitely
good.
interested in looking at some more Glitch Productions series. You know, now that I've seen all the good work that they've gotten done with Digital Circus.
They've got a lot of other shows.
They do.
I know. Yes.
I know a lot of people
Murder.
talk about the murder drones.
Yes,
Murder Drones
that.
is really, really good. They also have Sunset Paradise. That show ended and is very good. It's a spin-off of the main SMG4 show.
Oh, interesting. So I have not really seen SMG4 much. I know SMG4 from like the
Word of mouth?
Was it like the Gmod videos or whatever the heck?
Yeah, they still do
Yes.
those every week. That show's still going.
That is
But
crazy.
what's gonna happen with you know, our good friends over at that one company?
What
At
company?
You
Glitch or?
No, did you not hear about what happened to Gmod?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I did hear about that.
I think that'll be fun. Here's the thing: you can load your own mods into Gmod. So I think anybody that
Yeah.
currently relies on a lot of models in Gmod and in Gmod type of videos, they'll be fine. They just have to load them in themselves on their own
There's
clients.
no doubt in my mind that they have all of their mods that they use to make that show backed up.
So, you know, I think everybody will be just fine. It's more of a case of like, God damn it, Nintendo, why?
Well, if
You know,
Nintendo had done
you
this
just
back when Gmod
you
was first starting out, we wouldn't even have SMG4, which means we wouldn't have
True.
Digital Circus or Murder Drones.
That's insane.
That's
man.
wild. Really? We wouldn't have.
Yeah,
Well,
because
SMG4
like
is what gives
SMG4
them the money
SMG4
for their
was the
channel.
big success. Yeah,
That was the
Oh.
big success,
Successful.
and without the revenue that SMG4 brings in for their channel, they wouldn't be able to fund shows like Sunset Paradise or Murder Drones or The Amazing Digital Circus. They wouldn't have been able to
Okay.
develop that fan following that let them make their more original work.
Could you imagine Digital Circus, but very, 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 very low budget?
I mean, yeah, but
I wouldn't hate seeing it.
Digital
No,
Circus
it reminds
probably
me
wouldn't
of,
have even been made at all because the
Yeah,
show
we
is
wouldn't-
like the show is aimed at a demographic that most regular animation publishers wouldn't really want. They'd be saying, "Oh, you need to make this more kid-friendly," or "You need to make it more." You either need to make it more kid-friendly for something that would be on, like, for Cartoon Network Teen Titans Go crowd, or you have to make it aimed
Right.
squarely at adults and going for, like, the BoJack Horseman crowd.
I'm just reminded of now. Yeah, everybody's been talking about SpongeBob because of the 25th anniversary, but I'm reminded of that one time that, like, I don't know if this is 100% true or not. What was it? Maybe it was you, Pierce, that talked about this, but, like, what was it? Like, boating school was a thing in SpongeBob because they want SpongeBob to go to school, but
Yes,
like,
there was
Stephen
a
Hillenburg
mandate.
Stephen
There
Hillenburg
was
was
a
just
mandate
like,
from,
no, he's an
Nickelodeon.
adult. No, like, he doesn't go to school. And it's like, well, we need something that, like, appeals to the children and whatnot, and, you know, something that's representative for them that they can associate with. And it's like, okay, fine, driver's school. And
Yeah,
so
that happened. There was the reason why SpongeBob goes to boating school is because Nickelodeon issued a mandate to Stephen Hillenburg that said SpongeBob needs to go to school because it needs to be relatable for children. And the problem is SpongeBob is an adult who works a job at a fast food place. He's done with school. He doesn't do that. So, but they forced him to do it anyway, so they said, fine, let's just make him try to learn how to drive, and he sucks at it. And there, now he's going to school. Are you happy? And it worked.
Nickelodeon
It's
said,
kinda
yes,
like-
we are.
clearly, Nickelodeon has succeeded, but not because of Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon has
Listen.
succeeded in spite of Nickelodeon.
Yeah, right. Like, my God, it was all about having the good, smart, like, figureheads in the company, and, like,
Not really.
just pure blind dumb luck.
I'm sure they only greenlit something as good as The Last Airbender by accident.
Oh, right, Jesus Christ.
They almost got Adventure Time.
Yeah,
Because
right.
They got
Yeah,
Playboy and
they
Chum Chum.
rejected Adventure Time, and I think that
Can you
would have
imagine?
really put them on the map if they had it.
Actually, you want to know
That
what
being
the
said,
funniest
actually,
rejection is?
funny enough, actually, now that I think about it, I wonder whether or not, like, Adventure Time, would they have been allowed to do the things that they did underneath Nickelodeon's
No.
wing?
Probably
No.
not.
It would have been changed so much.
What's the funniest thing that they rejected?
Okay, it's not a
Mm.
thing that Nickelodeon rejected, it's a thing that a certain other company rejected, who we've already talked about in this conversation.
Nintendo?
No, Blockbuster.
Disney.
We're going back to
Oh,
Blockbuster
yeah.
again.
Yeah,
Oh.
I know
You
this
probably know
story,
what it is.
This tale.
So,
No,
okay.
I want to hear it. Is it Dougal?
Okay. Once upon a time, there was a brick and mortar store called Blockbuster Video where you could rent movies. There was this little startup called Netflix, and they had this
Really?
idea where you could basically subscribe to Netflix, and they would send a movie to your house via the mail. And then once you were done with that movie, you send it back to Netflix and pick what you want next, and Netflix sends it to you.
DVDs had gotten so light and so easy to transmit over to the mail, you know, much easier than VHS would have been. So finally, that business model was available and easy to do.
Yeah.
And
So
Blockbuster
this
rejected
company
it?
was this new startup company was doing pretty decently for themselves, but they were still pretty small compared to the mammoth, gargantuan, indisputable power of Blockbuster Video. So Netflix went over to Blockbuster and they said, "Hey, would you be interested in, like, buying us?" And Blockbuster said, Blockbuster took a good long look at Netflix and what they were doing,
Listen.
and they said, "Yeah, this is never going to catch on. Good day. We are perfectly happy with our brick and mortar stores forever, because that will
And
never
then-
change."
And then they
People
ate
will
their own
always be
words.
coming out to good old Blockbuster Video. People will be coming in and picking up rentals. They'll be coming in and picking up popcorn. They'll be grabbing snacks. Yeah, we'll always be here. We'll always be
Also,
selling
what do
late.
you mean you're not charging late fees, Netflix? That's stupid.
Yeah, that's
And
dumb.
Netflix goes,
What's going to
and
stop
Netflix
people from
goes,
just
"No."
keeping CDs forever? That's stupid. Why
and
are you
Netflix
doing that?
goes, well, we'll get them with a monthly annual kind of thing, obviously. but I'm
Well,
sure you have your own.
the way that Netflix did it was, if I remember correctly, you could rent a DVD, like you could rent a DVD for like what, $5 or something like that.
Yeah,
And
it
then
was
they
really,
sent it
really
to you,
cheap.
and
You
then
could rent up
you
to
got
3 DVDs at a time, and then they would
Right.
mail it to you.
Well, and then you could keep them as long as you wanted. However, you couldn't rent any more until you sent the other ones back.
Darn.
And that's
yeah, but
how
once
they got
you did,
their.
it was really
their-
easy.
And that's how they got them
No.
back. And yeah, they came up with a really easy way of just sending them back.
And then
So-
later, Netflix realized, hey, wait a minute. A whole bunch of people are connected to this internet thing. So,
What do you
And
guys think of that?
and a whole lot of them actually have these things called video game consoles. And specifically, a lot of people bought the Wii. So the Wii can connect to the internet. So what if we made a CD that had a little program on it that let people download movies into the RAM of the Wii, and then they could just watch it on the Wii instead of having to wait for mail to be shipped to them?
What
So they
Hmm,
created
and
the
then
Netflix. So they created the Netflix app on the Wii Shop channel, and that was their first introduction to doing streaming. It was done on the
Isn't that
Wii,
wild?
and then later it branched out to
And the
being
Wii
on the
was
Xbox
massively
and-
successful, and a lot of people were using it as their movie watcher.
And the Wii was a great place to start out with it because the Wii could only output a maximum of like 480p, so bandwidth was cheap.
Yeah.
You didn't need to make it in HD because the Wii couldn't do HD, and nobody cared because HD TVs were still kind of new at the time.
And Nintendo was like, they're not buying our games, but they are watching Netflix. And
They
it
sure
does
are
put enough
watching
money.
Netflix and playing Wii Sports.
It is
I
putting
mean,
us some money.
It sells consoles, so
It's
sure,
Yeah.
it's just fine
it's
for them.
selling.
Yep. I
But
actually
anyway,
still have the
yeah,
Netflix,
then people were
um,
watching a ton of
DVD.
videos.
It's
What was
really
that?
funny. I
Was that-
actually still have the Netflix CD they sent you that let you install the Netflix app onto the Wii.
Oh, I'm sure that still works.
The Netflix Wii disc. It's very funny.
Great. But anyway, so yeah, suddenly Netflix had a massive chunk into the market, and people slowly stopped going to Blockbusters and picking up videos physically. So then Blockbuster went and they made their own service where they were sending out DVDs themselves, which, I mean, they did compete, and technically it looked like they were even, but at the end of the day, they weren't. Like, Netflix kind of, they definitely had priority because they were there first. And
The
most
tides
people
had
went,
already
like,
shifted.
yeah. And for me personally, like, whenever I see a company start to co-opt ideas from another company, I personally look at that first company and think, they had something good going, didn't they? And I tend to, like,
Yeah.
I go over to them and I see whether or not I should buy a thing from them. And yeah, that seemed to be a case for a lot of people. People just said, like, you know what, Netflix is a reputable company, let's go for them. And now
That
only
makes
one
sense.
Blockbuster exists in the world.
And the
Where
only
is
reason
it?
that one Blockbuster exists is because that Blockbuster is privately owned.
It's just a nostalgia factory. That's it.
Yeah, that's the only reason that Blockbuster is still allowed to exist.
And that's
Anyhow.
Because
I
people
think
see it as a
that's
fun
freaking hilarious.
novelty.
And honestly,
I'm,
one day I will take a trip out to the last Blockbuster in the world
Yes.
because I think that would be fun. Like, I
I'm-
wish more companies did that. I wish more companies, like, when they're going out of business, if they're like a big chain, like that they would just go like, well, we're throwing in the towel, but does anybody want to buy like the franchise and then make one single one single place? Just one final one.
Okay.
Yeah. And then somebody's just like, well, I got a bunch of money and I don't have anything going on. Sure.
Yeah.
Simon Warrior says, Grandma, come here. Play grounds with me.
Apparently Akumo is playing Uno No Mercy. Interesting. I have no idea what
Actually-
cards everybody else has. Don't put that evil on me. I don't know what
Actually,
you
there
should
is
choose.
one other funny company where they totally should have acquired this small startup when they had the chance but didn't story.
Go on.
The company in question is Yahoo.
Oh.
The company they
Oh.
could have bought when they had the chance but rejected because it'll never catch on was Google.
Shoot.
Whoa.
Oh, they fucked up.
Oh,
They
man.
really
Well,
messed up.
But do you remember what they did buy eventually?
What?
They bought Tumblr.
Oh yeah, they bought
Oh
Tumblr.
yeah, that worked.
And
out.
you know how that worked?
Did it?
It didn't,
did-
because then they
It
were like,
didn't. That's
"Oh
why-
shoot! Well, we have to sell
It's not-
Tumblr because it's not making any money. We need to clean the place up. Okay, get rid of all the filth. Filth is no longer allowed here. Goodbye, filth."
That's the
Except
only
not-
reason
except-
anyone's using Tumblr. Okay, I'm sorry.
Right, and then
You see-
just was like,
you see-
but that was literally my entire use for Tumblr. Goodbye, and then everything.
Also, let's just get rid of the NSFW, not fix this NSFW bots, okay? We're gonna still have this
Oh,
problem
right.
and this problem. No,
I mean-
no. Well,
NSFW bots are unfortunately kind of a constant on the internet nowadays, and that really sucks.
Yeah.
Like-
yeah.
Oh, and actually, that's one of the reasons why I personally say, like, at this moment, I cannot endorse getting a Twitter, because right now it is an absolute cesspool of, like, not safe for work bots. Like,
Yeah. Don't go to
it's
Twitter.
horrifying.
Just avoid
don't.
Twitter.
Do
If-
not
if-
do it. If you are
If
underage,
Rice says
if you are
don't,
underage, definitely don't. Do not do it.
and if you're trying to get your following, don't. Just don't. Wait.
Well, just anywhere else but Twitter, man. Anywhere else.
Mhm.
I personally, again, I stand up for Blue Sky because it's actually got like good eggheads or making like really cool changes. Which, by the way, they're really teasing the fact that they want to open up custom GIF uploads and custom video uploads. I don't know when that's going to happen, but they're teasing it. And I have enough faith that I think they'll do it.
Yes.
I mean, they've followed through with a lot of the promises that they've made, so I have no reason to suspect that they wouldn't follow through with this one. So,
And the
like,
Peanuts movie was very good. Blue Sky made a good movie. Sorry.
Not that
No,
Blue
that's
Sky.
I'm sorry. I had to, I know the joke
Not
had been
going
made,
off
but I
topic.
still do
Right.
find
Not
it
going off
funny.
topic.
it's already there.
Yes.
But,
Yes, you can go
just stay
pee
away
at
from
your
Twitter
own
in
vote.
general. Yeah, no, that's a good
Yeah,
rule.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Just
that's
don't touch it. Again, I am only there simply to try and keep in contact with some contacts that I have, and also, you know, it's just there's a lot of networking involved with voice acting right now. If there was a big voice acting scene over on Blue Sky, I wouldn't even bother. I'd leave.
Yeah.
Like, no point.
You'd leave
There was something,
Blue Sky
something
or
else that I was
Twitter?
going to say in reference to Blue Sky, and I don't remember. Oh yeah, right. I mean, so big philosophy that I have in this situation is that, you know, at the end of the day, like, a social media platform just doesn't sprout out of nowhere with like 1 billion people on it. Like, everything's got to start somewhere, and if you're not willing to put a little bit of a risk down, like if you're not willing to really commit to something, then at the end of the day, like, we're never going to have a successor to Twitter if we don't all commit somewhere. Like, we've all been actively looking, but I feel like
If
we
we
all
don't
need to,
commit
like,
to telling Twitter to basically shove off, basically.
we do. We need to finally have, like, some
Somebody-
competition to finally be able to say, hey, fuck you, and then just walk off. And, you know, I think Blue Sky is pretty much it. I remember, like, God, this was, I'm not going to say massively back in the day, but back in my day, we had this one platform called Skype. And it was one of those collie apps that you talk to friends over, and you shared your screens and you shared video, and it was,
Skype.
and you had a contact
Creepy.
list, and everybody got together in
Everything.
parties, and it was the #1 conversational application on the interwebs.
At the times.
And it's
Until and it was pretty darn shitty if I do say so
insert
myself.
Skype call sound.
Uh,
No, Skype was garbage, man. There were a lot of
It
things that I
was.
hated about Skype. One was like, I don't know what the heck servers they were currently running out of, but I swear they were patching it with paper mache. Like, it just seemed like they crashed or like they had connection problems all the time. And we kept on thinking, like, it can't be our connections. There's no way. Like,
And it wasn't.
we got pretty good internet where we are. Why the heck does it keep crashing like that? And also, like, the video quality, sometimes it'd be good. Sometimes it would be absolute dog water, and you could barely even see what you were looking at. Another problem was that their software was a little bit too smart for its own good sometimes, specifically with the audio quality. And I remember there were several instances where I'd have a whole bunch of friends and we'd be all sitting there in a call, and we'd have one guy who's just got like a fan or something running in the background. And Skype would go like, hold on a second. Oh, I hear something in, X person's mic. That's probably conversations or maybe music. We should raise their volume up so that people can clearly hear it. And so slowly, as people are talking in the call, you can hear like you can hear Johnny's like mic just going.
It's awful.
And you're just like,
He's so-
mute your mic, damn it! Go to push to talk.
Of course.
And it was so miserable. Like, we were dealing with so much stupid call quality stuff. And I remember really early on, I started hearing the rumblings about Discord. I forget what variation of Discord it was, but it was definitely in like 2006, if I remember right. Actually, come to think of it, I can literally go to my account right now and check. View profile. Oh, yeah, right. I am currently in streamer mode. Let me shut that off. If there are notification sound effects, I apologize. Let me see. Yeah, I have the badge for early supporter, so heck yeah, boy. I have been a Nitro subscriber since at least 2018. I have been a Discord member since 2016. So I've been here a while. So sometime around 2016, I started hearing all the rumblings about this place called Discord. And I saw that, like, there wasn't much to it. They basically had the server stuff set up and ready to go. And that was it. They had text chats and they had
That's okay.
some voice chats.
I
and that's all.
No one can
Basically,
hear
they were a free version of TeamSpeak. But they were pushing that they were going to be implementing a bunch of new updates and some new ideas. And they were pushing that they were planning on bringing like screen share and like video share at some point down the pipeline. And apparently, like, they had a timeline of things that they had already completed over the course of them existing. So a lot of people were looking at that and going, oh my God, are they going to do it? Holy shit, they're going to do it. Oh my God. So for me, the writing was on the wall. I was like, that looks very promising. So I jumped over and I contacted a bunch of my friends and I'm just like, hey, guys, there's this amazing place called Discord and I think we should probably go and take a look at it. And everyone collectively were just like, yeah. And keep in mind, we were all still actively doing stuff with like video share at that point. But we all collectively decided, you know what? Skype is garbage and we hate dealing with it. We're done. We're moving over. So we moved over to Discord, even though it was like really inferior and didn't have much to it. And we waited it out. We moved so fast that there were some people on my Skype friend circle, they didn't even hear that we moved. We forgot. We forgot to tell them. They were looking around being like, oh, it's weird. Everybody's been offline for a really long time. What's going on? And then finally got in contact with them being like,
die?
yeah, did you? Yeah, I said, oh my God. Is this like the apocalypse? Is this the rapture? What happened? And they were just
Discord.
like, yeah, we moved over to a different app. Where the heck are you? It was just like, I didn't know that. Yeah, just get over here. Anyway. But yeah, finally, they introduced, God, when they introduced video calls, that was a freaking event because they slowly rolled it out to different servers, and like you needed to have a special server to like have the ability to do it. And I remember I actually I kept on like generating new Discord servers until I eventually managed to get one that had video share in it so that I could test it out and like hang out with friends in it. And it was so fun. It was
Nice.
like we're getting a little taste of the what it's about to be. Whoa. Also, McFlurry is
taste
here.
of the
Hello.
Hmm?
12:11 a.m. That is late. Sleep is definitely a good thing. I appreciate you're here, but
Okay.
man, sleep is a good thing. But anyway, but yeah, Discord has treated me well, and I have enjoyed it very much. I will say they are making mistakes now, and I think it has to do with just complacency and also desperately trying to look like they're innovating. They've kind of reached the peak where they can't do anything new, but they need to keep getting investors. So, like, well, what do you do? Okay, well, all right. We'll start coming up with new stupid stuff that doesn't need to be done. Like, we'll completely redo the mobile app, despite the fact it works just fine. You know? I think that's where a lot of Discord's problems right now come from. So, yeah. Unfortunately, I don't think that's going to get any better. And so, yeah. But anyway, this was just a really long diatribe to just say, give something a shot. You know? Like, if a platform sucks, and if there's a replacement that exists, even if it's not as good as the other one, like, if they're making promises, and if in the past they have followed up with their promises, that there's something to that. Like, consider, this is why I look at Blue Sky. They're keeping their promises, they're updating frequently, and they also have some really cool ideas in the pipeline coming up. It looks like it's just going to be Twitter 2.0. I choose that. I choose that hardly. So, do it. I don't know.
It's also worth noting that Twitter isn't even called Twitter technically anymore, but we still call it Twitter.
Right, because the word X is stupid.
X is not a word.
The dude running the place has got eggshells for brains.
He does have an X, but okay. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, X
I mean,
is
what
not.
was that one
X
thing
is
that
not a
people are
word. This
saying?
isn't Kingdom Hearts. You can't do that.
What's that one thing that I've heard this a couple of times, and you know, it's a little harsh. I would not personally say it, but there's that one joke people have been making that like, hey, if you're gonna dead name your daughter, then we can dead name your site.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
You know about that, right?
Yep.
Mm-mm.
So, you know, I've heard that one said by a couple of people, and it's kind of cruel. And I'm sure that, like, you know, that's a lot to deal with. I'm not going to massively make fun of anybody who's in a situation where they're trying to, like, process things and cope with change and, you know, things happening around them, especially with, like, their own flesh and blood. Like, that can be tough. But, man.
I will make fun of Elon Musk though. He's a jerk.
Oh, I'll make fun of Elon Musk because he's like, yeah, no. I mean, there's a certain way that like you conduct yourself when it comes to any sort of issues you deal with in your day-to-day life, or just like in big events of your life. And if you can't conduct yourself properly, then you know that's your own fault.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for me, like, definitely. And you know, just him desperately trying to get rid of the block function. Like, what are you doing, man?
Well, you see, he's actually just angry that people keep blocking him, so he's trying to make it so that that can't happen.
I mean,
He is that petty.
I get that, and I know that, but you literally can't. what's funny is that like he's been attempting to try and threaten to take out the block function, and people have literally said, no, Elon, legally, you can't do that. If you do that, our app is going to be kicked off of all major distribution sites. Like,
If
don't
you
wanna
do that, Twitter
Don't do
will
that.
officially be dead.
Like, yeah.
Like, it's already
stop it.
unofficially dead, but it will be officially dead.
And you know, this is like Apple's not allowing people to sideload, and you don't want to lose the Apple crowd. Please stop it. But then, like, so I guess technically he's not getting rid of the block function this time. He's just making it like
He's just removing all
irrelevant.
functionality of the block function. Like,
Right. It's
a
basically
button
just
is
a
still
button
there. It
to
just
say
doesn't
like
do anything.
you're blocked. I guess. It's such garbage, man.
Yeah.
Like, if Twitter literally becomes nothing but a website that is like tailor-made and designed for nothing than people to like verbally abuse you, I see no reason why anyone should ever use it ever again.
Yeah, agreed.
Like, nobody deserves that. It's already toxic as hell. We don't need to add on to that pile. I hate people sometimes. I don't want to say that. I hate when people make stupid decisions. I'm not gonna hate the person. I'm going to hate the decisions. X is not a good name for an online platform. I mean, just
it's not a good name for anything.
Yeah, it's not a good name. Period. It's just like look how clever we are. Look how simple and like we're so modern and all that jazz. What are you?
That's not modern. That's just stupid.
No, it's stupid. It's dumb. I'm sad because like there was a period of time where I did consider that like I thought that Elon Musk was the cool rich person.
That's the image he wanted to cultivate of himself, but
there was a time, and he was pulling it off for a while. And,
but then you get to know him and you realize, oh,
right,
he's actually just kind of an idiot.
I'm trying to remember. I mean, I saw him doing like interviews a long time ago with like, talking about his companies that he owns, and I forget what technology it was. He owned Tesla at the time, and he was talking about, or what was it, SpaceX? I don't remember. I think it might have been SpaceX. And
he does own
there
both.
There was a specific type of rocket that he was releasing all the patents for it. He was basically saying, hey, you want to make this rocket or like this type of rocket? Go for it. And he was being interviewed. I forget what show it was. I think it might have been one of the funny news things, like a Comedy Central show. And they were just like, why would you do that? And the way he put it was just like, I mean, like, we're using up a lot of resources on our planet. We are going to need to start colonizing on other planets. And I have a vision that we're going to be doing that. And the best way to do that is to get as many people on board with going into space. Like, imagine if you're on a boat and if somebody had a really, really good design for a bucket and the ship was sinking. Wouldn't you want as many people as possible to have that bucket? Because if people don't have that, if people don't have a good enough bucket, and if we can't bail ourselves out, we're all going to drown.
Elon Musk is the kind of person who desperately wants to save the world, but only if he's the one who's allowed to save it.
Yeah. I kind of get that vibe. Because, like, at the time I was just like, that makes sense. That's kind of cool. Sweet. And, he carried along that exact same sort of mentality. Like, he was flaunting his riches like there was no big businesses. Like, look at me, I'm Mr. Rocket Man. Look, I'm shooting a Tesla into space. Look at me, I'm making flamethrowers. I'm making
Look at me, I'm not building a Hyperloop.
Yeah, right. I'm making the Boring Company that I'm making an underground tunnel. And like,
here's an idea. It's called a train. Just build a train.
Yeah, can we make trains, please?
Even that newfangled AI thing, they decided to ask it, hey, given what materials we have and where we want to build good public transport, what is the most efficient type of transport that can be designed for this. The AI did not know what a train was. It still designed a train. It
That's
said,
great.
let's just put a rail. You put a slidey thing on the rail, and it goes back and forth. Okay, that's a train.
Ta-da!
Yeah, it's not building a giant pressurized tube.
What did I
and
miss?
sending
I
that all
wasn't
the way
listening
through.
a bit. Oh, we're making fun of Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway. And then, of course, like, then the peak. The thing that I was like, oh my god, that would be so cool to own because I'm so Back to the Future brained. The Cybertruck. I saw the Cybertruck and early concepts of it, and I'm just like, oh, that looks really cool. I would love to own that. That's freaking... Could you imagine, like, kitting that out and making it look like the DeLorean? That would be freaking awesome.
Actually, on the subject of Cybertrucks, I have a funny one for you.
Oh.
Did you hear that all Cybertrucks have had to be recalled?
Yeah. I mean, I was going to get into that.
Yeah,
and I was just like,
so
boy,
they had to be
I'm
recalled
certainly
for
glad that
a
I didn't...
very, very funny, stupid reason. The reason is that occasionally, this is just a tiny little mistake, occasionally when you push down on the gas pedal, it doesn't come back up, so the car just keeps going.
Yeah.
That's just a tiny little mistake.
I saw
That's
another
totally
video.
fine. But
I saw
wait,
another
that's not where
video,
the funny part ends. That's not where the funny ends.
Okay.
Because it's being recalled, that means that Tesla has to officially reveal exactly how many Cybertrucks have been sold. It has sold less Cybertrucks than original DeLoreans. Like when the DeLorean was first built and flopped horribly, the Cybertruck sold half as much as the original DeLorean run.
Ouch.
So, yeah, it didn't do well.
That sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Probably for the best, because they're also going to be rotting in landfills quite literally.
Probably, yeah.
Probably.
Like, yeah, when you make a gigantic car out of steel and not out of alloy, you're probably going to have some rust. Just a little. Kind of. I don't know. It's kind of... Oh, and also, on top of that, like, you know, if we're not even talking about the Cybertruck, then there's all those people that are talking about all of the problems that are currently going on with the... Well, just, there's a lot of weird things going on with Tesla cars right now. Like, there's a lot of weird faults happening. Including, like, computerized problems. And also, I also heard of somebody else that talked about the interior of a Tesla. Apparently, the interior of a Tesla is, like, wickedly uncomfortable. Like, it's something that you don't want to be sitting in for a long period of time. Which, what's one thing that tends to happen when you have a car? You take it places. And you drive for extendedly long periods of time.
People do tend to spend a lot of time in their let's move around vehicle.
Yeah, like, what? So, you know, you'd like to be able to sit down in it and have, like, comfortable leather seats and, you know, ones that are sort of designed to cushion you or something. No, apparently I'm trying to remember who it was. There was some sort of an analyst that was talking about it, and they said, like, they went, like, and designed a car with the mentality of a cell phone manufacturer.
Yep.
That's basically it. It's like they went with the design philosophies of somebody who is making a cell phone, except they did it with a car. And they didn't know how to do the car part. They kind of just winged it on that one.
It's very stupid. And yes, Diamond Warrior, you are right. The Cybertruck is very ugly. It looks like it was rendered on a PlayStation 1. Everyone has made the joke. It is true.
So here's the problem. The Cybertruck actually looks really, really cool from certain angles. And that's the problem. I've seen...
Yeah, but only from certain angles.
Right. But then if you look at it from, like, the side to, like, too flatly. Or, like, at specific angles from the back. And then you realize, oh, it's a really ugly lump. Oh, boy. And yeah, that's kind of what happens when you make a completely angular car. I mean, God help you. I don't know what the gas mileage is. Well, actually, what is it? All electric?
Probably because Tesla.
Yeah, I think it might be all electric. Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, yeah, it's electric. So I don't know what kind of economy it has, just from like wind resistance, I suppose.
I'm sure
So
it's
I
not great,
don't
given the
know.
brick look that it has.
Right? It's just like that thing. Also, that steel can't be light. Like,
Yeah.
oh my God, it's just a big freaking mess, man. And the funny thing is, so much of this garbage probably would have stayed wrapped up a lot longer had Elon just not gotten Twitter. That's my thought. I genuinely think he probably could have like he probably could have played the fake it till you make it game a little while longer had he not gotten Twitter, because with Twitter, so up to this point, he has had businesses that are more or less private, you know, rocket company, car company, boring company, that kind of stuff. And most of those companies just have employees who are working in contracts that probably work under NDAs, and they can't really talk about what goes on behind the scenes. And so most of it just has to stay with, you know, within company gossip. However, that changes when you move over to having a social media platform, because suddenly, you know, now you're dealing with customers directly, live, 24/7. And people can shit talk about you and your decisions all the time, especially if you keep telling people what you're doing behind the scenes. So I think Twitter was definitely like the killing blow to his entire image. What would happen if Snatcher tried to eat Snab?
Huh?
I think Snab would probably bust out of his chest like a chest burster.
Eef.
I'm just imagining that's probably what would happen. But he's okay. They're both ghosts, so I'm sure they'll be fine. Anyway, this is very anecdotal. I'm trying to remember how this like there was an unconfirmed set of like leaked information from I think it was SpaceX, if I remember correctly, of like some employees who, after Twitter was bought and Elon started doing all kinds of stupid stuff like firing most of the staff and making major changes to the platform that were stupid and made no sense. There was an employee that like leaked a little bit of information about some stuff that was happening over in SpaceX, and basically it kind of boiled down to him saying like, yeah, this is par for the course with Elon. And it's like, what? And then they elaborated further, being like, yeah, this is kind of just how he is. Like, this is somebody who he does not like to, like, he fancies himself a smart businessman who makes big business decisions. And he feels that doing that, he, like, you know, as the big businessman, he has to make the big business decisions. So when he sees any form of, like, non-efficiency, or if he sees something that's not right, working properly, or if he doesn't see the value in whatever it is that is currently sitting in front of him, he basically just axes it. He's just like, no. And the problem with that, with a good businessman who's got like good business brain, somebody with a good business brain would be able to tell, like, yes, I can see the value in what you're currently offering my company. Yes, very good. Problem is, Elon is stupid, but he thinks he's a genius.
Yep.
So what SpaceX ended up doing, at least like somebody in SpaceX, some genius in SpaceX, they actually set up like computer programs on a bunch of the equipment that is sitting around in SpaceX. Because you know what? Sometimes there's downtime. Sometimes like there are just moments where things aren't happening. And that happens.
But if we make it look like it's happening,
But-
then that means that Elon will be okay and he won't
change-
fire us.
If you can put a program on the screens that look like they're constantly working and doing things, Elon will come down to the factory floor, inspect things, which apparently he does often. He comes down, I guess just to be involved, I don't know. And he looks around and he sees like all of the workers doing work on the computers. Not real work, but work. He sees that and he goes, yes, progress, business, good stuff. And then he walks off. And then you get to keep your job. Because if he saw that you were standing in front of a monitor and you weren't doing anything, he'd basically look at your position and be like, why the heck do we hire you? You know what? You're fired. Get out. How is this man allowed to function in society?
Well, that's easy. His daddy owns an emerald mine.
He's
That's the
really
real
good
answer.
at spending money. That's
He is.
about the best thing we can say about him.
And he's a huge piece of.
Also, Akuma was asking this a little bit earlier. What would you be if you were a food or a drink? I mean, a lot of people have compared me to either a blueberry or Jell-O. So maybe something like that. Also, people have also said, like, as a drink, would you be boba tea? And I think that could work. But anyway, yeah, boba drink. We have been going on for a while here for the stream. I think it was probably a good move to just do a casual stream because, again, it's nice to ease our way back into doing some streams.
It is.
It is
This is
very
fun.
true.
It was nice to just chat.
Yes.
Oh, God, that's the game section. Don't look at that. That wasn't assets for a project I'm working on.
What?
Ignore.
Project.
Don't
Asset?
worry about it.
Oh, okay. I'll just
Nothing
go over
happened.
here and
Oh.
pretend I didn't see anything.
Oh, before I forget, actually, hold on a second. Listening to y'all talk is very entertaining. Oh, thank you very much.
Oh, I've been
Yay.
I've been trying to get better at talking and stuff, and well, I'll discuss that later.
I mean, like, you know, one of the things that I started streaming for was that I wanted to kind of work on my improv. And when you're doing live stream, you kind of have to force yourself to learn how to be a proper, like, improv guy.
You can't just be dull.
Diamond, is that a picture of that edible water bottle?
Let me see. Ugh.
I think that's what that is. Like, it's
I
made out
don't
of,
like
like...
it. Why do I don't like it. For
it's
some reason, I
filled
don't
with
like
water, and then the outside is just, like, a weird rubbery thing. And, like, you pop one in your mouth and,
Ew.
like, you drink it that way. I remember that. That's disgusting. Anyway, before I forget again, yeah, 3D printing stuff. I've been doing that kind of stuff. I've been doing that a little bit on my off time here, and I just finished up Big Project. There we go. For you Hat in Time fans out there in the crowd, big ol' Snatcher coin. Hey,
Hey.
check it out.
Away.
So for the design of this thing, I tried to make it as, like, game accurate as I possibly could. I had a couple of people being like, "Wait a sec, why didn't you make it like pure purple on the inside and then yellow on the outside?" Like that, I feel like that would work better with Snatcher. Here's the thing: have you ever looked at a Snatcher coin? Because that's not the colors. Actually, the color of a Snatcher coin is a little bit more of a purple blue. And then the outside is more of like a metallic bluish sheen thing. And that is exactly the colors that I chose here. So yeah, I'm going for accuracy with it. And also, Maggie says I would eat one. Don't. It's not cookie. It's not cookie. Don't eat.
But it's delicious enough to be one.
I mean, it'd be kind of cool if I made these into cookies. But yeah, it's got like... But what's funny is that there was a bunch of little interesting quirks with so this is literally based on and sort of ripped from the actual Hat in Time game. However, I did some modifications on it so that it would look a little bit more accurate to how it looks in-game. Fun fact, the ridges on this coin are not actually 3D modeled in the game. That is all bump map, which is kind of neat. But that does mean that I needed to go in and do a little bit of 3D modeling on the edges on this thing so that there were accurate coin ridges. But, you know, I know how to 3D model,
Nice.
so I don't have a problem with that. Also, I don't have individual pictures of this, and I probably should. Come to think of it, that'd be a pretty good follow-up post. I should show you guys, like, the individual pieces of the Snatcher coin itself. Because you'll notice this thing is made out of, like, 2 different filaments. Yeah, I engineered this thing so that the center is one big old wedge with holes right where the eyes and the mouth are. And then I printed out all the rest of the parts around it. So, you know, I printed out, like, the eyes and the mouth and the rims on the side there. I printed those out, except kind of like almost like a hole and peg system. So just, and also I designed it with some really tight tolerances. So they actually fit together pretty snugly. And you don't necessarily need to use anything like super glue to stick them together. You can, but you don't have to, which is kind of neat. But yeah, sticks it all together, and what do you got? Snatch coin. And the real neat part about it is that the Snatcher coin glows in the dark.
Ooh.
Show us.
There we go.
It's blue. He's vulnerable.
There
The boss
he
is
is.
vulnerable. Hit it, hit it, hit it, hit it, hit.
Hit him, kill him, kill him, kill him!
He turned blue.
Yum.
He's blue! He's blue
He's
now!
blue.
That's
Everyone.
his attack.
That looks
Yay.
gorgeous.
I love it. I mean, okay, so this picture, I had, like, this is like in best case scenario, by the way. Like, I literally went into the darkest, like, room in the house I had at night, no LEDs on in it, and, like, I brought in a flashlight and pointed it directly at the dang thing, and then immediately shut the flashlight off and picked up my phone and took a picture of it with, like, night shot mode. So what you're seeing here is a very meticulous glow-in-the-dark shot of this thing. But, you know, so it's not gonna look that cool. It's not that pronounced, is what I'm saying. But it's pretty good. It's still like, you know, once you shut off the lights, you can definitely see it glowing in the corner of a room. So that's kind of fun. I think it's just like a nice little extra bonus. It's one of those like, whoa, mystical item, what is it? And I like it. But anyway, see, the problem is I actually have super glued all these parts together, so I can't pull them apart to, like, showcase all the individual parts anymore. Oops. So maybe I just need to print another one.
And another one.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Now here's my thought on this. I can't sell this at all.
Of course.
There's no way I can, because this is technically, it is literally a model that is directly based off of the Hat in Time model. In fact, like, it's basically the ripped model from the game. It's modified significantly so that it actually works as a 3D modeled piece. Like, obviously I put work into it, but it's really derivative. So I could not possibly sell something like this, I feel. But I could actually just model a different coin from, like, you know, from scratch, and I could try and sell something like that, and I have had some ideas for something like that. Also, there are websites like Thingiverse that allow you to upload the files 4 3D printers. And now I don't know how many of you guys have access to 3D printers out there, but would you be interested in getting all of the files for the Snatcher coin and giving it a shot?
If I had a 3D printer, absolutely yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I could,
I
I
think
would.
people would appreciate it. I just don't have an account with Thingiverse, so I'd have to go make one. And I don't know what the rules are with that. Yes, if I could print it. I do know. I think Maple's dad actually has a 3D printer, if I remember right. She says that like he definitely tries to do a lot of 3D printing, or at least he gets really frustrated with it apparently. Which, yep, I feel that. The other day, I was trying. So hold on, let me pull up that picture again. I was trying so hard to print this the other day, and it was so obnoxious. So I printed, I managed to get all of the white parts. Those printed, like, basically without a hitch. They were they were so easy. Like, everything was fine. Temperature was perfect. All the filament was, lying down. Finger reveal. I've shown my fingers before, don't worry. I've shown my entire hands. Anyway, no, the white parts did just fine, which is funny because they're the more like meticulous, I guess is a good way to put it. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot more room for screw-ups when it comes to all of those other parts. And then I went to print out the center part. The circular bit that like, okay, technically it has to like make the holes in the center. But it shouldn't be that difficult. It's not that complicated. It's a cylinder with like a face in it. It should be easy. It has no ridges. It has no, like, you don't have to worry about pieces fitting together too badly. Nope. No, for some reason, this center part just would not print. And I ended up, like, I tried it and tried it and tried it again. I must have retried it at least 20 different times. Like, pulling the printer apart, cleaning parts, cleaning the bed, changing the temperature on the dang thing, swapping out the filaments and seeing if the filament was different. Now, for just some reason, like, this center part just did not want to print. Seriously, if you get into 3D printing, expect to go a little bit insane. Just a little bit. Just a tiny bit. Because, Jesus. But the good news is that I finished it. It looks edible. Again, PLA is not edible. Do not consume. Aw, cat just made biscuits. Adorable.
Oh, baby.
Can I eat the coin? Do not eat the coin! I mean, I'll say, the good news is that I do want to try 3D printing out someday.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised that there's probably, like, some place out there nearby you that might have access to a 3D printer, and you wouldn't even know it. Possibly. Because it's starting to become a little bit bigger. Skedaddles to the pillow fort. I have so many OCs, I want to make little statues. 3D printing is very meticulous and kind of difficult. So, I would say, not for the faint of heart. And you should probably know what you're doing. Because, God, it's terrifying. Anyway. Right. So, I was going to say something related to 3D printers, and I completely forget what it was. Dang it. My brain. Snatch it and feed it to Snap. Oh, yeah, right. We were talking about, like, PLA and stuff. So, funny enough, PLA is actually one of the lesser... It's basically sort of non-toxic. I'm not going to say completely non-toxic, because it does still put out, like, fumes that you don't necessarily want to be breathing in for extended periods of time. But like, it's the safest option. You can actually get filaments that are more rubbery, that are a little bit more flexible, and those are kind of cool. But they also kick up a lot more fumes, and they smell when you're printing with them. I haven't even mastered Blender, so I know that dream is very far in the future. Well, you know, one of the big drives for something like learning how to use Blender is a goal like that. Like just having a goal somewhere in the distance being like, one day I will 3D print things. I think that would be a good motivator to just be like, well, maybe I can work on a thing. Maybe I can work on a thing that might be 3D printable.
3D print the default cube.
Yes.
That is so stupid that I'm actually going to do it. I am not joking. I'm literally going to do that.
You're actually going to 3D print the default cube?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. You said it. Now I'm going to do it. Yep. The default cube will be printed.
Yay.
So, good, enjoy
It'll
that.
be funny.
It will be. Hey guys, take a look at this thing that I just 3D printed. Look how detailed it is.
Please share it with everybody. It's going to be amazing.
I will. Oh, it's going to be great. Snatcher cube? I could. I could literally just 3D model a Snatcher face into a cube. Oh, you know what's one thing that I saw that I really badly want to 3D print? There is 3D printable Mario Party dice.
I saw that. It was like, they're for like D&D, right?
Maybe D&D.
Because that would be the perfect use of them.
Possibly. Here, let me pull that up. I want to go look at the 3D printer files that I got sitting in here. Okay, we've already... Also, Diamond has posted a thing here. Snatcher coin. Ha ha! We're just going to 3D print everything into Snatcher. I mean, I got enough purple blue filament. I could do that. Okay, let me see what I got in here. I went sort of window shopping for some stuff at one point, so let's take a look at some of the things that I got in here. Like, potential 3D models, maybe in the future. I've already done the Banjo-Kazooie Jiggy. And that turned out amazing. I have a giant one. Let's see. 8-bit classic Mario?
Excuse me.
Oh, yeah, right.
Teddy Frog says, never mind, he attacked me.
Oh.
Bad kitty.
Oh, I know. Do a custom BitB amiibo.
Yes, because that's the perfect idea.
When you scan it into Smash Bros, you just get blue Kirby.
Oh, yeah.
Just blue Kirby. That'd be good. Okay, I got a couple things. Oh, I have an 8-bit classic Mario. Okay, so it's basically the 3D version of 8-bit Mario, if you've ever seen that. Like, there's an amiibo of that. Somebody 3D modeled it, except it's in, like, individual little pieces. And, like, you can 3D print them in the actual exact colors of Mario, and then you can stitch them together. I have that. That's a little bit more detailed. I don't know if I want to go for that right away, but blue Kirby is pretty much bit since it's blue and has red eyes. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, guys, did you know Bit was actually in Smash the whole time?
Yeah, right. Technically, we were all in Smash because me's.
Yes.
Oh, the Bowser key from Mario 64. I have that in here. That's another one of those, like, maybe I'll print that out in gold. Can
you print out some sea salt ice cream?
Sea salt ice cream. I mean, I can print it out in that glow in the dark filament.
Yeah, from Kingdom Hearts.
The problem is
Cool.
that filament only looks white in like regular light. So
Oh,
we got. See, that's what frustrates me. I would love to have a 3D filament that's like blue in the daylight, but then also like glows blue at night. And like, I don't know if that exists, but I'd be curious if I could find it.
Chatty, to answer your question, because that's a cat. Those are cats. Your cat switches
Yep.
between affectionate and ferocious, so clearly that's a cat for you.
Yep.
Why is my cat
That's
act like a cat?
That's how
Why is
cat.
my
Yeah.
cat acting
Why
like a
is my
cat?
cat a cat? Because they're a cat.
It's just simple, Chatty. Your cat is very cat. If it didn't do what the things you just described, you would not have a cat. You would have a creature. A creature. Cats
Okay,
are
I
weird.
have the Mario 64 coin. So I might 3D print that.
you could do the Triforce from Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask.
Ooh. Technically, yeah, I could do that. Or like the Hyrule Crest. Ooh,
Ooh.
that'd be kind of neat.
Or a Sonic
I
ring.
think I ended up making the N64 logo, I think, but that's still in the concept stages right now. I'm trying to figure out like, should I paint it or should I somehow come up with a way to 3D print the individual colors? I think paint would make more sense.
Actually, can you do Klonoa's ring from Klonoa 1?
I need to look that up. Hold on a second. Klonoa's ring.
Oh, that orange cat behavior, really.
Interesting. I don't have green filament, but
The
maybe-
green is really small. You could get away with just painting that.
How big is this thing?
Well, Klonoa is a small, so he basically holds it like he holds it in one of his arms, and then he fires
How
the
small
green
is
part
he
like a
for
bullet.
you? How small are we talking? How small are we talking, Diamond?
Klonoa is a small.
A small energy sword.
Like, how small are
I
we
did look up
talking?
some Halo models. I didn't see anything that I was immediately excited about, but now that you say that, oh my god, that glow in the dark stuff. That glow in the dark filament would be perfect for that. Oh my god. Here's a practical one.
Size. What
you
kind
can
of death
3D
are we
print-
talking about?
You can 3D print NES cartridge dust covers?
Huh?
That's kind of fun.
Like, I
Actually,
never thought
can you
about
3D
it.
can you 3D print game cartridges?
Yeah, I
They
don't
won't
see any
work.
reason why you couldn't.
They won't work.
And
Well, I mean, you
well,
just
yeah,
have to.
well, they
get,
don't.
like,
They
a-
won't work. But you could get. I'm willing to bet you could probably get the circuit board and then just mount it into it.
You could.
True.
That is the thing. I have gray filament.
Could really-
I could make N64 cartridges.
You can make
Or you could
N64
do the
cartridges
worst
that have
thing-
actual labels,
Or you could do the worst
Yeah,
thing.
right.
like labels
I
on the
could make
top of
a-
it, because
I could
the
make a
design
fake
of the
label
cartridges is
and
kind of bad.
I could make a fake label and confuse so many people.
That's what
Yeah,
I was
it'll be
saying.
great.
You could prank somebody.
So what the heck is this
Like-
game?
You could just print out 3D print like a game and say happy.
Well, no.
birthday."
So then, I know some hobbyists that have come up with ways of like playing video over like N64 game cartridges. So what you do is you get one of those circuit boards, and then you program it, and then you mount it inside one of those cartridges, and then you label it something silly, something that's just like, what? I've never heard of this game before. What is this? And then the person takes the cartridge, pops it into the slot, turns on the N64, and it's just a Rickroll.
Beautiful.
Yeah. I could go for that. Oh, I have the Super Mario 64 logo. I don't think I'm ever going to I don't know why. I haven't. But
Can you do
I
a
probably
shine
won't.
sprite or a timepiece?
You could do a shine sprite. Timepiece, I think that'd be interesting. I think with like the blue filament that might work.
A timepiece would be
Oh.
cool.
I'm trying to think. I have to. So the timepiece is more of like it's a wooden outside with like sort of a bluish inside, right? And then with
Yeah.
like the purple accents.
Mhm.
I do know that there is a 3D printer filament that's like sort of wood colored. You know, you can't actually 3D print with wood, but what if you made a Bitby coin? That's already an idea that's on the table. 3D print a dweller mask. Ooh, that'd be kind of cool. I don't know how it would make the eyes glow, though. Oh. Hold on a second. Let me check this real quick. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I forgot I downloaded this. Does this thing come with any images? Yeah, it does. Somebody made a 3D printer project. It's the Mad Piano from Super Mario 64.
Beautiful.
Except it's actually hinged. Like, it has a hinge mechanism that you can 3D print, and you can actually open it. It's freaking great. Or Moonjumper's mask. Interesting. I just think it'd be funny to have the Mad Piano just sitting on your desk. Because it just looks like a normal piano. And then you open the bad boy up and it's just like, haha!
And then it just goes chomp, chomp, chomp.
Right. Chomp, 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 chomp. And then it scares
best.
children.
The best character to play as in Smash Remix.
I have actually not heard of that.
The piano, they created a full Smash 64 moveset for the piano.
How?
It's
Why?
amazing.
Just
How do you
it
make...
works.
How
Let
do
me
you
pull up some
make...
footage of it because it is hilarious.
It just
How
works.
do you make a piano that had one attack have an entire Smash lineup? Like,
It
what?
just works.
They did.
It just works, it just works, it lies it.
It just works.
Oh.
The end.
Yeah, Sprite's pretty
Here,
good for
here
tongue
you go.
yanks, but
Watch,
take it
watch
easy.
this. I posted it in the Twitch chat.
What the heck are you?
Mad Piano!
What the heck?
3, 2, 1, go!
It walked.
It walk.
It crouched.
Yeah.
How the heck does it shield itself? What the? What? That's not a punch. This is very strange. It seems to do a lot of bumping,
Bumping
and
and
like
chomping.
it runs into people a lot.
Yep.
It do funny spin. Is this Kirby?
What?
Is the base of this thing Kirby?
I don't think so. I don't
I
know
don't know,
what the
that's-
base
that
of this
spin-
thing is.
That spin was very reminiscent of like Kirby's down attack.
I don't think it's Kirby because it can shoot stuff.
What is it shooting? Oh, it's the books!
Yep.
Oh, that's frig. That's too
Oh, and its taunts are amazing.
It swallows people up. Sweet. Let's skip through this a little bit. neutral aerial, forward aerial. Yeah, we get it. You're a big old chompy boy. Up aerial, down aerial. Again, grabs. Just just swallows you. Swallows you whole. Okay, taunts. Oh.
He plays music. It even has a Kirby hat.
Frickin' what?
Like if Kirby eats him, then Kirby gets a custom hat and a custom
All right.
move.
I think we're getting up to that.
Yep.
Sleeping animation. It makes like little piano noises when it's sleeping.
Yep.
What the hell? Yup. That's Kirby with a book.
Smash Remix is absolutely amazing, and I love it, and more people should play it.
This game's winner is Mad Piano.
There's also an additional mod someone made for it where they added in Spider-Man and Cloud Strife.
I mean, that just makes sense.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yep.
It sounds like a piano being abused in another room, says Akumu. It does kind of sound like that.
Yes. It is great.
Arf, I have returned with my Snatcher Crab plushie, says Nova. Sweet. Okay, Smokey. Well, I think now would be a good time to start, like, winding things down.
Yep.
Yep.
So, again, let's talk about the itinerary. Tomorrow we are going to be actually playing Undertale Yellow. I, once again, massive apology that I made this last minute swap around. Honestly, again, I kind of wanted to just chat today because, like, it's been a while. I wanted to just jump on in and say hello. And also, we've worked out a whole bunch of the weird kinks. So now we should be good to go for the stream. And I believe I've already set up an instance of an Undertale window. So I think we're good for that. So anyway, yeah, if you want to watch me play Undertale Yellow, that is happening tomorrow. Once again, you should probably be playing it yourself first, at least up to, like, 2 or 3 hours, just to make sure that, I don't want to spoil anything for you, and I would like you to have your own personal experience with it. It's kind of
Where
important.
can we get this game?
It's free, for God's sake. Just get it. Just download the thing. You have the ability. Game Jolt. Do the thing. I think I'm going to go ahead and paste it one more time in the chat for anybody who still has not picked it up here. Here we go. I'm going to copy, paste it. Bonk. This is the game that we will be playing tomorrow. So, first of all, if you've not played Undertale, might be a good idea to play that. But if you've not played Undertale Yellow, that is the game we're playing. Have your own fresh experience.
I think I may check it out, as I've never played it, so I'm going to check it out. I hear good
Have you ever
things
played?
about it.
Have you played the original Undertale?
Have I played the original Undertale? Let me check my hours on the game on Steam, Mr. Bitby. It says here that I have accumulated a total of, let's see, let me just pull up my Undertale thing. It says it's loading because Steam says, well, yes, I have played Undertale, but I wanted to flex and say, I want to say I've done at least 200 hours on off because 287 because I've downloaded it, then I re-downloaded it, and I played it again for fun, and I re-downloaded it.
That's a lot of butterscotch pie. What?
It is a lot of butterscotch.
What the heck?
So I kind of no. What's Undertale? What's this Undertale you speak of? I've never played it.
Oh my freaking god! All right, so yeah, Undertale Yellow. I feel like Undertale Yellow will be more of the same, albeit, more charm. By the way, it's a fan game. I should probably mention that to people. It's not like official or anything. But I mean, like, it's gotten sort of a blessing from Toby Fox, and also there's been so much work that's been put into it. Basically, this game has been worked on ever since the release of the original Undertale. Like, it's had a lot of love shoveled into it. So, yeah, I'm going to be playing that tomorrow. Let's talk about the plans for, I guess, for next week, because this is a casual stream. I finally do want to get into playing some of the DLC for Splinter Cell, because I have not done that yet. And that will likely be happening next Wednesday. And then next Saturday, we're going to swap back around, and we're going to be playing Undertale Yellow on Saturday. I'm going to try and stick to that. And then Sunday, we're going to change back over to doing some casual streamy related stuff, where I might dive back into the Stardew Valley stuff. I might not. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm a tiny bit burnt out on it. Not ridiculously, but just enough that I'm like, do I want to? Maybe. Anyway, that will do it for the stream. Thank you guys very much for coming out. Do we have any last words from the call?
Drink water. Stretch.
Yeah, that's an important one. Hydrate. That's a good one. Yes.
That's it.
Drink the yes.
Don't forget to stretch.
Drink the delicious life elixir.
Don't forget to do your taxes. Kidding.
Right. What's here? Give me a
Yes.
second. I need to find. Are there any? I'm trying to find some sound effects in my sound library. Here we go.
I'm making coffee. You want coffee? Coffee, 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 coffee!
Does anybody want coffee? Love that one. All right, I'm gonna take off here. Again, thank you very much for jumping into the call. This has been fun.
Very fun.
See you guys later.
See ya.
All right.